Pirates God level sign in system chapter 21-40. Chapter 21-Shu Kang fights Eagle Eyes. Clearly, the Hawkeye Mahawk is ready to shoot. Hey! Hearing the sound of breaking through the air, Mahawk used his instant body to come to Shu Kang. And Shu Kang didn't show weakness, he pulled out his Zanpakuto directly. Dang! The knives of both sides collided like this. Not bad. Come again. Mahawk's eyes were fiery, and at a glance he saw that Shu Kang was definitely not a mediocre person. He immediately retracted his knife and slashed at Shu Kang again. At the beginning, Hawkeye's knife was not that fast, but after hitting it for a while, Hawkeye's knife was so fast that even Shu Kang felt it was difficult. Is this the strongest swordsman in the world? So strong. The world's martial arts can only be broken quickly. Hawkeye's slash is fast and heavy, and he doesn't seem to use his full strength. Shu Kang's 24-hour enlightenment has played a big role at this time. Shu Kang is also growing rapidly. He was obviously weaker than Mahawk at first, but soon he was able to keep up with Mahawk's fighting rhythm. Open your eyes. This time Shu Kang directly opened his other golden finger, writing round eyes. At this time, although the writing wheel eye is still a single Guyu, his observation ability has improved a lot. Shu Kang can basically figure out Mahawk's attack trajectory now. Dang! Shu Kang and Hawkeye quickly collided with their knives, and Mahawk's livid face also smiled faintly. I thought you would use the fruit ability, but I didn't expect to fight with me for so long purely with this swordsmanship. It's really amazing. Compared with your swordsmanship, I think your ability to improve is even more terrifying. Mahawk was excited, and then the more he fought, the more spirited he was, and finally, he even waved his arm. Hawkeye launched the strongest slash in the world, and the green sword lights rushed towards Shu Kang at such an extreme speed. As the strongest swordsman in the world, Shu Kang naturally couldn't underestimate Hawkeye's slash. Block it. Shu Kang looked at the Zanpakuto in his hand. We can't just fall, we still have a long way to go. At this moment, Shu Kang chose to believe in the Zanpakuto in his hand, and also believed in his own swordsmanship, but in the end he still did not use the power of the devil. After all, this is a very fair duel between kendos, and if the power of devil fruit is used in it, it is not pure. However, no matter how strong Shu Kang was, he couldn't fight against the serious Hawkeye at the moment. Your strength should be more than that. I can feel it. When will you use your real strength to fight me? Hawkeye walked in front of Shu Kang and asked. Shu Kang shook his head and said, I have used all my strength, but if I really want to surpass you now, only a friend can help me. Hawkeye didn't understand what Shu Kang meant. At this time, Shu Kang looked at the Zanpakuto that had fallen. Just looking at the Zanpakuto like this, at this moment, Shu Kang's Zanpakuto had actually returned to Shu Kang's hand. At this time, Shu Kang's inner world also changed a little. A person about the same size as him appeared on the endless sea. The two of them were standing on a rock. Who are you? Shu Kang asked. I am your Zanpakuto. You are truly amazing. You were able to enter the depths of your heart while fighting. Shu Kang in front of him was also very surprised. Since you've been able to come here, I won't let it die. The eagle-eyed man in front of me is very strong, right? But this is just the touchstone for you. When the time comes, call my name is Shura. The person in front of him suddenly disappeared. And Shu Kang also returned to the island where he fought with Hawkeye. When he came back, Hawkeye felt that Shu Kang was different. This guy's aura is different. Hawkeye said to himself, what happened? At this time, Shu Kang raised the Zanpakuto in his hand high, and looked at it and said, I don't know the name of my sword. I have really wronged you for so long, and I haven't played your role. Strength. So, now, let's kill unscrupulously. Shura. Shu Kang's voice fell, and his whole person became different. At this time, Shu Kang's eyes had turned into scarlet writing wheel eyes. The difference was that this time it was no longer the single Go Jade, but the double Go Jade. The double hook Jade writing wheel eye not only enhances the observation ability again, but also has been able to copy some of the opponent's actions. In addition to the transformation of his eyes, the most important thing is that Shu Kang's skin has turned blood red, and he looks like a Kai who opened the 8 inner gates. Blood, slaughter, and invincible. This is the first time I have met such an interesting opponent, Shira. Very well, I have never killed Shira before. Hawkeye did not retreat, but took a step forward even more excitedly. Mahawk, be careful, I'll be serious next time. Shu Kang's speed increased again. Mahawk also swung the black knife Yi in his hand more quickly, and both of them started to collide again. However, this time, Shu Kang had the upper hand. Amazing. Awesome. Mahawk found that Shu Kang at this time not only surpassed him in strength, but also surpassed him in speed and endurance, and his swordsmanship was also improving rapidly. This guy seems to be learning my swordsmanship. Mahawk was very shocked. He had never heard of it. Someone could learn it by watching him use it once. It was like copying. Seeing this, Mahawk didn't hide it anymore this time. He didn't know what he was using, but his strength improved again, and it seemed that he had truly reached the level of Shichibukai. And Shu Kang soon discovered that Mahawk's black knife had become stronger, and his Shira could feel the pressure before his Shira touched the opponent's knife. I see, did you use armament hockey? Shu Kang asked. Yes, with your current strength, I have to do my best. Hawkeye said, it's better than this, I will use my strongest slash against you. If you can block it, then even if I am against you there's nothing we can do. How about it? Shu Kang was naturally not afraid, and then said, it's just defense, it doesn't mean anything, why don't we send a slash to each other, and then let's see the final result. It's a really good proposal, so let's do it. Mahawk was ready to go, and Shu Kang was also ready to go. The whole body was so bloody that it completely merged into the Shira in his hand, and the whole person's writing wheel I firmly locked the chi of Hawkeye, and then Shu Kang swung it out with all his strength. Come on. Mahawk also waved out with all his strength, and the extremely terrifying green sword light also came towards Shu Kang. A red light and a green light collided violently, and an extremely terrifying momentum burst out at this moment. The entire island instantly became the center of the whirlpool. Chapter 22 Fish. Man Arlong _____. Immediately afterwards, a huge gust of wind swept the entire island. With the two at the center, an extremely terrifying shock wave erupted around them. Not only did the island itself suffer, but even the surrounding sea was directly stimulated by countless waves. The sea was filled with monstrous waves, spreading around, seemingly able to devour everything. However, such a scene did not last long, but after a while, the surroundings calmed down, but a huge pothole was left at the position where the two swords collided. Hawkeye and Shu Kang were both out of breath. It was the first time Shu Kang was so embarrassed in the world of pirates. However, this was also the happiest time Shu Kang had fought since crossing the pirate world. Some of Shu Kang's clothes were destroyed, but the demon suit had an amazing recovery ability and immediately began to repair itself. Hawkeye also put away his black sword knight, looked at Shu Kang and said, not only did I block my slash, but I can still stand up to now. You are already amazing, you are still young, and soon will leave me far behind. Hawkeye then asked, I'm very interested in the slash you just made. Tell me, what's the name of this move? Shu Kang thought for a while and then said, I don't have a name, but since you ask, I'll call him Shira slash, right? This is the strongest slash since I became Shira. It's very powerful, very bloodthirsty, you already have your own style. At this time, Hawkeye has no idea of playing anymore. Shu Kang was able to draw with hockey when he didn't master hockey, so it was only a matter of time before he could surpass him, so there was no need to continue looking for fun now. Okay, go find your companion, thank you for letting me see the vastness of Kendo. We should meet again, and then I will become stronger. Let's fight again. After Hawkeye finished speaking, he turned and left with a smile. And Shu Kang had no strength at this time. In the battle with Hawkeye, the Shiranian used too much and consumed all the current chakra. In addition, the Zanpakuto was released for the first time, and he fought with all his strength, which made Shu Kang completely lose the strength to continue fighting. After Hawkeye left, Shu Kang fell on this deserted island, and the demon suit was silently protecting Shu Kang. I don't know how long it took before Shu Kang opened his eyes. He was able to ask the smell of sea salt. He moved his body and felt a lot of pain all over his body, but he was still able to stand up. I don't know how long it has passed. I didn't expect this guy Hawkeye to be really powerful. Although I didn't use the power of devil fruit, but I used Sharingan and Shikai, and I could only tie with him. As expected, he is the #1 swordsman in the world. Shu Kang discovered that his Zanpakuto Shira had changed, and the original black scabbard had now turned a tinge of blood red. And Shu Kang felt more comfortable. The blood color of this scabbard would be more vivid and complete. It turns out that my sword should be the same as Kurosaki Ichigo's Zanyu, and it can stay in Shikai state for a long time. If I master Wanji, I don't know if I can defeat Hawkeye. Shu Kang and Eagle. The battle between his eyes made him feel a lot. When he recovered and was almost ready, Shu Kang urged his devil fruit power to fly away. Shu Kang first followed the original direction and returned to Baroque, the restaurant on the sea, and then found that both Sanji and Luffy had left. They left in that direction. Chef Zeph clearly pointed out the direction of Luffy and the others for Shu Kang. Only then did Shu Kang flap his huge demon wings and fly in the direction they said. The weather was perfect along the way. Shu Kang kept going at a constant speed, and did not consume much demonic power. I don't know how long it took to fly. Shu Kang finally saw an island above the vast sea, so he landed directly on that place. Fishman can be seen everywhere on the shore. These fishmen have the body of a human, but they have the characteristics of a fish. After seeing Shu Kang, they immediately came over and asked, "Who are you? Look at it. How are you?" "I'm from another place," Shu Kang said truthfully. What to do? The two fishmen looked at each other and then discussed. "Anyway, take him to Big Brother Arlong first." Fishman, who looked very weak, took Shu Kang to Arlong's location, and Shu Kang did not refuse. He knew that Fishman was still there, which meant that Arlong had not been defeated. Since Arlong was still alive, time must not have passed, and Nami and the others would definitely be there. Fishman Paradise, where Arlong was led by Fishman, Shu Kang saw that many towns had been destroyed. Seen how cruel and evil Fishman Arlong is. But soon, Shu Kang was taken to Fishman's paradise. The Fishman Paradise in front of him looked very similar to Marine's headquarters, Marin Fando. At this time, Shu Kang was finally brought into a hall that was like a swimming pool. The leader has a jagged nose, Fishman's signature blue skin, and wears yellow short sleeves with a pattern of the Sun Pirates on his left chest. And he is naturally the leader of the Arlong Pirates, Fishman Arlong, a pirate in East Blue that is stronger than the Krieg Pirates. He looked at Shu Kang and asked, "Who are you? What did you come here for?" Shu Kang then said, "I'm here to find people like Nami, Luffy, Usopp. I wonder if you half-fish have seen them." At this time, Arlong smiled arrogantly and said, "Is it a mere inferior human, is it still arrogant? But this time I will forgive you. Next time don't let me hear the word, Banu. Our fishman is an evolution of humans who have the ability to breathe in the sea. With the ability of fish, it is far higher than yours." Fishman Arlong said very proudly. Having various abilities that surpass human beings, please remember that the primate of all things is Fishman, and human beings who violate Fishman are equivalent to violating the laws of nature. Arlong said as a matter of course. At this time, a girl has slowly stepped forward. "I'm tired of your stupid theories, Arlong." The speaker was Nami in sandals and a camisole. At this time, Nami could show her shoulders, and the logo of the Arlong Pirates on her shoulders was very dazzling. "Don't put on that scary face. You are special among humans. You are an excellent surveyor that our Arlong team is proud of, and you always draw the right chart for us." Arlong saw Nami after appearing. He said immediately, "Of course, I have a different head than yours, Nami responded. Nami, did Luffy and the others come to you? Or did I arrive first? Shu Kang asked. Seeing this, Arlong immediately replied, what? So you know each other? Chapter 23 crying Nami ______. Nami immediately retorted. Don't talk nonsense. He's just my prey. This time I got a lot of treasure from him. I didn't even know if I was cheated, but I even shamelessly chased after him. Stupid can. Instead, Shu Kang smiled and then said, Nami, no one should have guessed it, but I already knew about the things you hid from me. Don't everyone say that I know everything on the boat. Shu Kang said, I should have reminded you before, right? With an Arlong, I won't be my opponent. Nami didn't know how to answer Shu Kang's words. Nami wanted to protect Shu Kang, but Shu Kang broke everything, and Nami was stunned for a while. Ha 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 ha. Next, was the overwhelming laughter of the entire Arlong paradise. That this fish man has never heard arrogant words, but that no one has ever dared to say such arrogant words. Ha ha ha. Human, are you so anxious to die? Arlong looked at Shu Kang and laughed. Ha, Nami, what are you going to do with this guy? Arlong wanted to take advantage of Nami, so he naturally gave Nami some face. And Nami waved her hand and said, let him go, he's useless to us, and it doesn't even make sense to kill him. Yes, we still have to catch those invading pirates. Arlong then stood up and didn't take Shu Kang seriously at all. However, at this time, something surprising happened. Arlong's body suddenly thudded and was covered in a puff of smoke. Flee. In the dust, Shu Kang seemed to feel someone pulling him, and he had no choice but to follow him. When the smoke cleared, Arlong found that Shu Kang had disappeared in front of him. Bastard! Who the hell is that? Arlong was furious, and it was obvious that the attackers were human. And Shu Kang soon discovered that the heroic person just now turned out to be Usopp. Where are you taking me, Usopp? Shu Kang asked. Follow me, I'll explain it to you when it arrives. Usopp quickly ran away with Shu Kang. Soon, Shu Kang was dragged into a village, and Usopp then dragged Shu Kang into a house. Unexpectedly, the big guys who are familiar with this house are all there. Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Johnny, Joseph, and the blue-haired lady. My name is Nojiko, and I'm Nami's righteous sister. The blue-haired lady is naturally the same as Nami, the child of Belmere, a retired female marine. As for the others, Shu Kang didn't expect that. Shu Kang, Nojiko has already told us. It's all as you said, if we want Nami to continue to be our navigator, then we have to completely defeat Arlong. Luffy said. But until then, we'll have to watch Arlong break his promise, Nojiko said. You should have said before that Nami saved the money to save the village. As long as Arlong breaks her promise, then Nami will never have any hope for Arlong again, Usopp explained. So that's the case, it seems we have to wait for a while. Shu Kang nodded. However, a large wave of fishmen had already arrived in Kokoyasi village at this moment, and they were naturally going to arrest Shu Kang and the so-called invading Straw Hats. No matter how much we wait for the moment, the work is still to be done, Zoro said. Sanji also lit a cigarette, and everyone rushed out of the room. For the group of fishman minions in front of them, the Straw Hats and his party naturally did not stop at all, and they defeated them all. All the fishmons were defeated here, and the news spread like wildfire. Arlong was completely furious. Naturally, he led all the cadres and fishman's subordinates to Kokoyasi village. Despicable human pirates. If you don't come out, I will completely destroy this Kokoyasi village. You shouldn't want all the humans buried with you, right? Fishman Arlong threatened. I only count 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arlong was about to destroy the houses in Kokoyasi village, but at this time, Nami took the initiative to stand up. Stop. You are not allowed to shoot at Kokoyasi village. Nami blocked with her hands out. Is it Nami? Do you want to stop me too? Fishman Arlong said. Don't forget our agreement, the money has been collected, you will never break your promise. Nami reminded. Arlong smiled and said, of course I won't forget it. You give me the money, and I will naturally take it back. However, at this time, all the money Nami saved was taken one step ahead by Fishman Arlong. How can this be possible? This is my treasure, Nami also said very excitedly. Is it yours? Is there any name of yours? Whoever finds out is it. I said, what about your 100 million Bailey? Since there is none, then you shouldn't stop me from destroying the Kokoyasi village, or are you still willing to make a promise with me? At this time, Fishman Arlong was very hateful, watching Nami keep smiling. Everyone knows that Arlong sent someone to steal Nami's treasure map, and just asked his subordinates to snatch her 100 million berry in advance. Damn, Nami tried to fight back, but was easily knocked to the ground by Arlong. You look as ridiculous as your dead mother, your inferior race, only deserves our fishman to rule. I am sorry, I'm serious, haha, you shouldn't care, right? Or, are you going to be my enemy? Arlong's group was aggressive, and Nami couldn't do anything at all. At this time, the villagers couldn't stand it anymore. All the villagers took out their farm tools. Although the weapons were confiscated by Arlong, they still planned to fight to the death. The villagers have long known that Nami became a cadre of Arlong's gang to save the village. Now that Nami's hope has been lost, the villagers will naturally unite again and plan to fight back. However, Fishman has a natural advantage, and his wrist strength is 10 times that of a human. Even the little minions among Fishman are stronger than ordinary humans, so the villagers are at an absolute disadvantage as soon as they make a move. Don't. Although Nami tried to stop her, she was also knocked to the ground. Don't hurt her, she's our baby, Arlong said with a smile, although he blamed his fishman. Seeing that everyone was about to be slaughtered by Arlong, even the strong Nami couldn't help crying at this moment. Arlong, stop it. I'm sorry everyone. Nami didn't know what was going on with herself, but what she needed most at this moment was to make herself feel the real friendship, the Straw Hats. At this moment, Nami's cry finally came true. If everyone is here, come and help me, Nami shouted. Immediately afterwards, a long arm stretched out, and an angry fist was instantly punched. It was accompanied by a voice, I don't care who you are. But, don't make my navigator cry. Chapter 24 Leaving Kokoyasi village, please collect. Ask for a silver ticket. Bang! This sudden attack hit Fishman Arlong's body impartially, and Arlong was knocked away like a cannonball. Brother Arlong, it's actually blown away by a punch. It's impossible. Who is it? Is it human? All the Fishman were shocked. For them, Arlong was their big brother and their backer, but now the backer has collapsed. The one who shot was not Shu Kang, but Luffy. It was more appropriate to let the very charismatic Luffy take action. Asshole, human pirates, I'm going to kill you. Fishman Arlong naturally wouldn't be killed by Luffy's blow at this time, so he returned to the battlefield again. As for Arlong's group of cadres, they also found their own corresponding opponents. Hachi vs. Zoro. Chirp vs. Usopp. New partner Sanji wins Karubi against Fishman Karate. As for Shu Kang, he set his sights on the other Fishman. Hachi's potential in Kendo is naturally not as high as Zoro's, and the final result is obvious. As for Usopp, although it was a little difficult, in the end, he defeated the love of spitting ink with the help of his own brain. Won the leg skill and the Redfoot Zeph got the true inheritance, so he finally won the battle against Karubi. The angry Luffy and Arlong fought, of course, not as good as Arlong, but Arlong was extremely treacherous, and from time to time he had to take advantage of the water to fight against Luffy. And Luffy is a fruit ability, and he didn't win Arlong for a while. But after the others won, they rescued Luffy. In the end, Luffy used a rubber tomahawk to fight Fishman Arlong and could no longer move. It was a complete victory. As for Shu Kang, with his strange steps and terrifying swordsmanship, he chopped down all the men of the Arlong pirates to the ground in one breath. Completely defeated the Arlong group and rescued Yasi village from the bitter sea. And Nami looked at everyone, and everyone looked at Isho. However, at this time, a nasty guy appeared again. Although this man was wearing a marine uniform, he didn't look like a good person. He smiled slyly and said, "Wow. I'm so lucky today. Hard work. Let me watch a wonderful battle. Although it was a coincidence, I didn't expect that people would lose to you nameless pirates. But thanks to you, the money that was supposed to be handed over to Arlong, as well as the belongings hidden in the Arlong pirates are all mine." Everyone put down their weapons. "The credit for you, first, Marine 16th the branch colonel has taken the mouse." Ah. At this time, Zoro grabbed the collar of Colonel Mouse's clothes and said, "When people are happy, don't come and pour cold water." Then he beat the group of Marines very easily. "You dare to beat me, I will never let you go." Although Colonel Mouse was beaten, he still threatened. Nami was angry and beat Colonel Mouse again. As for Shu Kang, he walked slowly to Colonel Mouse's side and put his knife on Colonel Mouse's neck. The mouse, greedy for life and fear of death, immediately said, "What are you going to do?" "First a marine." "Yes, I'm a pirate, so I can kill you at any time." Shu Kang said coldly. "What the hell do you want?" asked Colonel Mouse. "If you want me to kill you, you must agree to 3 conditions, otherwise, I will kill you very easily." Shu Kang threatened. "Say what you say." Colonel Mouse really felt Shu Kang's threat. "First, clean up the remaining fishman, and second, help rebuild the cities that were destroyed by Fishman Arlong. As for the money, don't move a penny, it's the island's money." Shu Kang said after finishing. Nami looked at Shu Kang and nodded heavily. After all, what Shu Kang wanted to say was what Nami wanted to say. "As for the third, you should know that we defeated Arlong, right? Pirates like us who are extremely sinful, powerful, and dare to threaten Marines should deserve the highest bounty in East Blue. Am I not exaggerating?" Shu Kang was completely stunned by the mouse colonel in front of him. "You mean?" Colonel Mouse is a little unsure. "That's right, it's just what you think. I want our pirate group's bounty to be as high as possible. Upgrade your authority to the highest level. Do you understand this time?" "I'm impatient." Shu Kang was very fierce said. "Understood." Colonel Mouse wants to cry but has no tears. He didn't expect that there are all kinds of people these days, and there will be pirates who threaten him to take the initiative to increase his bounty. Immediately afterwards, Shu Kang, Luffy's group even took the initiative to ask Marine to take some handsome and beautiful photos for them, which looked like personal portraits. Then Shu Kang also told Colonel Mouse their information. Colonel Mouse hit the Marines and then left Yasi village. "Marine number 00733, please ask the headquarters. Listen carefully, consider a pirate named Luffy wearing a straw hat, a swordsman named Shu Kang and his accomplices as enemies of our government. They are very threatening. The Arlong gang, who have been known as the Invincible Fishman Paradise, were defeated by them. Considering their terrifying potential, please set the highest bounty on East Blue for this group of people. Now pass on photos past. I have extremely detailed profiles of them. They told me that. In short, you can increase the reward amount as much as you can." Colonel Mouse did his best, not only for Shu Kang's affairs, but also for revenge. "These pirates, I will make you regret it," Colonel Mouse said fiercely. The next few days, not only Yasi village celebrated, but the entire 20 places under the rule of Arlong began to hold celebrations. The Straw Hat group ate meat and drank and played happily. Johnny and Joseph said they would go back and be their own bounty hunters. Shu Kang came to the side of the bounty, where Nami Nojiko and others were paying homage to their mother Belmere. "Have you decided? Go with us?" Shu Kang asked. When are you leaving?" Shu Kang asked. Now, Nami suddenly took the initiative to hold Shu Kang's hand and quickly boarded Mary. "Hey, let's go," Shu Kang shouted. Is it so sudden? Although Zoro and the others were puzzled, they boarded the ship at the fastest speed. By the time the others reacted, the Straw Hat group had already boarded Mary. 100 million Bailey, leave it to everyone. Wait, we haven't had time to thank you enough. The villagers of Kokoyasi village wanted to stop it, but it was too late. Nami was very straightforward, and jumped directly onto Going Mary. The villagers looked at Nami who was drifting away, but there was nothing they could do. Chapter 25_Go to Loguetown for collections. For silver tickets. At the same time, Nami shook out all the wallets she had stolen from them. Bastard. Stealing our wallets. Little thief cat. Really, this guy hasn't changed at all. Usopp also said speechlessly. Shouldn't you betray us again? Zoro also patted his head and said. You guys have to take care. Nami waved goodbye to everyone. But Shu Kang naturally understood that the money Nami left behind was far more than the money she just stole. It was just another way to face the parting, which was less pretentious and more enjoyable. Marine headquarters at this moment, Ma Linduaduo is holding a meeting. Then they are a group of people, at least the branch can't deal with it, right? Asked a senior officer who was working in the audience. Marine, who was in charge of the analysis on the stage, said, before they formed the pirate group, they reached Colonel Axmonka of Marine's branch, and their momentum has been rising all the way, and they can't be stopped. Clown Buggy 15 million Bailey. Pirate Admiral Krieg Leader 17 million Bailey. Fishman Pirate Sawtooth Arlong 20 million Bailey. In addition, there are rumors that Shu Kang, the most powerful of them, had a duel with the Eagle Eye of Shichibukai under the king, but the outcome is unknown, but the result is that he is still alive. The analyzing officer added that everyone knew what he was fighting for. Meaning, in the East Blue with an average of only 3 million Baileys, these people were considered big pirates just now, but they were all defeated. Therefore, the name of Luffy's initial reward is as high as 30 million Baileys. As for the man named Shu Kang, because there is no clear evidence that he won Shichibukai, the bounty for him is set at 50 million Bailey. This is also a special case in the world. However, at present, the amount of these rewards is not high, and this new sign should be eradicated as soon as possible to prevent its future strength from becoming stronger and stronger. As soon as he left Kokoyasi village, Shu Kang heard a very familiar voice again. Ding ding ding. Congratulations, host. You have successfully signed in at Kokoyasi village. Congrats on getting it. Amazing bag. Suddenly, a very delicate little bag appeared on Shu Kang's waist. As always, Shu Kang was very curious about what the system gave him, so he asked while playing with it. System, what is this magical bag? Apart from the easily transformable demon suit, Shu Kang was the first to obtain such a strange item. The system then began to explain. The magical bag, as the name suggests, is very magical. You can take anything you need directly from the bag, but there is a limit of 3 times a day. In other words, you have already taken out any item you want from the bag. As long as you really want it, you can get anything. After the system explained, Shu Kang nodded excitedly. So, what about devil fruits? Shu Kang asked excitedly. Unfortunately, the system poured cold water on Shu Kang. Except for some special items. Although I can say anything I can, I refer to some common items, such as drinks, Baileys, and food. The system did not expect Shu Kang to want devil fruits. Besides, the devil fruit in this world, you can no longer eat it, because you already have a super devil fruit. Shu Kang confirmed it again and again, and only then did he understand the function of this magical bag. The biggest multi-purpose of the magic bag is actually replenishment. When everyone is short of food and water, they can take it out of this bag at any time, and even Bailey can take it out, which can be said to be an artifact. At this time, it was another sunny noon, there were no clouds, and the sea was very calm. There are many seagulls in the sky. At this time, a bird with a newspaper bag fell from the sky. This bird is naturally a messenger on the sea, a news bird. Nami buys a newspaper, which also includes East Blue's latest bounty for pirates. Nami didn't know if she didn't read it, but only after seeing it, she realized that two big men had already appeared on her pirate ship. Luffy, Shu Kang, you two have been offered a bounty by Marine, Nami said in horror, and being offered a bounty meant that they had embarked on a road that could not be turned back. At this time, Luffy looked at his 30 million Bailey reward very proudly and showed it off to others. And Shu Kang saw that his reward was already 50 million. I didn't expect the initial reward to reach such a high number. It seems that Colonel Mouse is really afraid of me. Shu Kang couldn't help but snickered. You haven't figured out the situation. It means that people are eyeing your life. Nami had a headache, which means that the future adventure will be more difficult. Of Shu Kang and Luffy's level was enough to attract the attention of marine and powerful bounty hunters. At this moment, Newsbird has distributed Shu Kang and Luffy's bounty to the whole world. And Nami and others are planning how to enter the Great Channel. It seems that the Great Channel can only be entered from this upside-down mountain, but how to enter? We don't know. Nami had a headache, and as a navigator, it was impossible to play tricks. At this time, Shu Kang came out and said, there are 4 sea areas in the world, and we are located in East Blue. If you want to enter the Great Channel, you must enter the upside-down mountain. First, you must follow the current to the top of the mountain. Finally, you will reach the entrance of the Great Channel by following the current from the mountain. As for the next stop, I think it will be in Loguetown. Shu Kang, who knew the plot, naturally made a plan for the next step. Loguetown. That's what I meant too. Nami nodded, finally meeting someone with whom she could communicate. What? Is that famous for meat? Luffy asked. Alias, town of beginning and ending, I remember hearing that. Zoro said very leisurely. This is One Piece, King of Pirates, the town where Gol D. Roger was born. The town where One Piece, King of Pirates died. Luffy seemed to remember something too. Go, Nami asked. I want to see the man who got One Piece, the man who got everything in this world, the town where he was born and died. Luffy said very firmly. In the next time, Shu Kang carefully digested the previous battle with Hawkeye, and also worked hard to refine and condense the chakra, and his strength naturally improved. Although he has a magical bag, Shu Kang still has to go to Loguetown to sign in. After all, for him, going to the important places that Luffy should go to will be able to become stronger. With Sanji, Nami, Usopp, Zoro, Luffy on board, and Shu Kang himself, there are already 6 people on board, and this kind of adventure is no longer lonely. Everyone easily blended in and became real partners. Time passed quickly, and finally, the Straw Hats and his party arrived at Loguetown, the last town in East Blue before the entrance of the Great Channel. Chapter 26 _smoker_______. Everyone got off the boat, and as soon as they looked up, they saw the huge 3 words, Loguetown, and the people around were very lively. This used to be a town where the pirates who targeted the Great Waterway gathered, and everything they need can be bought. Nami reminded. Okay, for the upcoming big adventure, I'm going to collect some equipment. Usopp said energetically. It seems that I can buy good ingredients. And beautiful women. Chef Sanji naturally noticed a lot of young ladies, revealing his arrogant personality. I also have things I want to buy, Zoro said. Oops. What did you buy? Zoro was stumped by Nami's words, and then Nami showed a sinister smile. Okay, I'm going to see the execution stand. I'm going to see where the One Piece, King of Pirates was executed. Luffy said excitedly, and then disappeared into the crowd. Hey, we haven't decided on the meeting point yet. Usopp shouted, but Luffy had disappeared without a trace, and then said speechlessly, I really can't do anything about him. Then listen to me, everyone, go shopping around, buy what you need to buy, and then go back to the bag boat and wait. Shu Kang arranged it very reasonably. By the way, you guys take this thing. If you need rescue, just pull it. Shu Kang then directly took out a few cloud-piercing arrows from his magical bag. As the so-called cloud-piercing arrow, thousands of troops meet each other. After everyone saw it, they went to support. Shu Kang and Luffy can be said to be completely opposite personalities. One is carefree and the other is extremely meticulous. It's still Shu Kang's thoughtful thinking. After everyone finished speaking, they decided to separate. Don't you have anything you want to buy? Nami asked while looking at Shu Kang. I don't know for the time being, just hang out. I have money and I don't need to borrow you, haha. Shu Kang saw through Nami's plan early in the morning. Nami obviously wanted to lend usury to Shu Kang and slaughter Shu Kang. Well, it's a pity. Nami was a little disappointed, but I didn't expect that Shu Kang was really not easy to cheat. Immediately afterwards, Luffy was very excited to find the execution platform of One Piece King of Pirates. Sanji looked for ingredients and went to feast his eyes. Nami went to try on various clothes but didn't buy them, and Usopp went to the grocery store with strange monsters. Shu Kang was very comfortable walking on the street. After crossing into this world, Shu Kang felt peaceful and comfortable for the first time. It would be great if he could stay in this city for a period of time. However, Shu Kang knew very well that since he had already crossed into this world and possessed such a heaven-defying golden finger, he naturally wanted to become a legend on the sea and live mediocrely. Just when Shu Kang was absent-minded, a pirate jumped out of nowhere. The pirate looked very arrogant, but at this moment he even condoned his subordinates to loot nearby. Give it to me and grab it. This is the precious food that I use as a One Piece King of Pirates by Mr. Sanryujiali. The pirate said proudly, just hand it over with gratitude. However, the white-haired man with two large cigars hanging from his mouth had already walked in front of the pirates. Who is your boss? The man asked very haughty. Who is your kid? Is it Monkey D. Luffy? Or Shu Kang? What nonsense are you talking about? Marine. The pirate saw Marine and felt bad. Let me test whether you are worthy of being passed into the town under Lao Tzu's jurisdiction. The man was very haughty, ready to confront the pirates. Smoker. Shu Kang recognized the identity of the white-haired man at a glance, but he didn't say much, just watched quietly. Kill him for me. The pirate who called himself Sanryujiali ordered his younger brother to rush out, but the smoker in front of him was the power of Logia's smoke fruit. In East Blue, with Logia's power, it can be said to be almost invincible. Group of pirates were instantly defeated by Smoker, who caught the group very easily. Marine next to him said, "It's amazing." As expected of Colonel Smoker, he managed to take down the Straw Hats so easily. Are your eyes decorations? How can this stuff be the Straw Hats? If this little character is worth 30 million Baileys, the world is over, Smoker said. So, what about Luffy and Shu Kang? Marine asked awkwardly. Luffy doesn't know, but Shu Kang, right here. Have you seen enough? Pirate Shu Kang. Shu Kang didn't think that Smoker, such a big man, was even thick and thin, and he had discovered himself at the same time as he was fighting. Therefore, Shu Kang stopped hiding his identity and walked out directly. As expected of Marine's Colonel Smoker, he is so sharp. Shu Kang stepped forward and slowly lowered his hood, revealing his appearance. Smoker Vivi Isho said, "Since you have come to Loguetown, then you don't need to go anymore. As the pirate with the highest reward in East Blue, as long as you are caught, your accomplices will naturally collapse together, right?" Shu Kang shook his head and said, "That's too bad. If you catch me, it doesn't mean you can catch them, let alone, you can't catch me at all." Oh, you're that confident? Smoker asked, ready to fight. Yes, that's how confident. After Shu Kang finished speaking, the two of them stopped talking. Immediately after, Smoker charged towards Shu Kang on his own initiative. Smoker was very cautious. Although he was a little arrogant, he did not underestimate Shu Kang. As soon as he made a move, he used the ability of his own smoke fruit. Smoker shouted, "White smoke launcher." Then the whole person rushed towards Shu Kang at a very fast speed, trying to catch Shu Kang as quickly as possible. As for Shu Kang, he did a continuous backflip and avoided Smoker's impact with his flexible body. Smoker was also very shocked when he saw this. This guy's speed is so fast, he can't catch up with him even with the eyeball launcher. White Fist. Smoker's white fists actually smoke his wrists to increase his speed and attack distance. Shu Kang knew that the other party was Logia, so this time he did not dodge and chose to be natural. Don't forget that Shu Kang's devil fruit has the advantages of zone, paramesha, and Logia at the same time. Smoker was shocked when Smoker's white fist hit Shu Kang, but was directly passed through. Devil fruits. Logia. This guy is actually a rare Logia fruit person. Seeing this, Smoker didn't dare to underestimate Shu Kang any longer. He directly drew his weapon, 10 hands, from his back, and then used the agility of his rolling eyes and speed, ready to crack Shu Kang with the weapon in hand. Shu Kang wasn't even afraid of seawater, so naturally he wasn't afraid of Smoker's sea stone weapon. However, Shu Kang planned to hide this temporarily, so he directly pulled out the Shira from his waist. At this time, Shira was already full of blood red, and he could fuse his power to Shu Kang at any time. However, Shu Kang did not intend to do so, because the opponent in front of him was not Shichibukai like Hawkeye, but a Logia fruit ability, Colonel Smoker Marine. If you have to use Shira to deal with a mere smoker, it will really humiliate Shira's name. Chapter 27 The Surrounding of Marine ______. Against an enemy of Smoker's level, simply using swordsmanship is absolutely enough. Therefore, Shu Kang pulled out Shira, dang bang. The two weapons collided with each other. It can be said that as soon as an expert makes a move, he will know if there is any. Smoker felt his own strength, and was easily unloaded by the opponent. Obviously, the opponent's knife was not a decoration. It's amazing. I didn't expect that this guy is not only a devil fruit person, but also a swordsman. It's really troublesome. Although Smoker had a headache, he still waved the weapon in his hand again and again. Still very confident in his abilities. In the past, Shu Kang believed that he would not necessarily be Smoker's opponent by virtue of his swordsmanship. However, after Shu Kang's battle with Eagle Eye, and his previous understanding of Kendo, the level of swordsmanship at this time had already reached a very high level. Realm. Smoker in front of him is naturally not enough to look at. A few rounds, Smoker was out of breath. Shu Kang could kill Smoker in an instant, but that would not be worth the loss. After all, killing Smoker would greatly affect the original plot. You bastard pirate. I didn't expect you to be quite strong. It seems that East Blue's highest reward is not a false name. Smoker gave Shu Kang a high evaluation. Shu Kang also said, as expected of a smoker, his strength is indeed much stronger than that of an ordinary marine school, but in front of me, it's still a bit underwhelming. Humph. Don't be complacent. I'll catch you right away. Throw you in jail. Smoker then yelled, bye man. This move is to use the smoke fruit to turn his whole body into smoke, and then entangle the opponent. It is also a relatively powerful move by Smoker. However, Shu Kang naturally sarcastically said, don't forget, I'm also Logia's, so your attack can't help me. Sure enough, as soon as Smoker came over, he found that Shu Kang had become natural, and his whole body had turned into black elements, and he didn't know what it was. Smoker had no choice but to continue fighting Shu Kang in melee. What kind of fruit are you? I've never seen a Logia fruit like this. Smoker asked as he fought. Hey, I won't tell you. Shu Kang was almost mad at Smoker. Don't use fruit power if you have the ability. Smoker shouted. He felt that Shu Kang's Logia ability was very annoying. Shu Kang retorted. Melee combat. You are not my opponent. Your fruit ability is all Logia. You can't help me. Why don't you let me go? Don't bother. It's not good for everyone. Humph. I won't give up. As a marine, Smoker would definitely not be able to compromise with the pirates. Smoker didn't know how to praise him. Shu Kang said, "It's you who shamed yourself, so don't blame me for getting mad." Come on. Although Smoker didn't understand what Shu Kang meant, he was still ready to make a call. Smoker shouted again, this time, "White blast." His limbs turned into smoke, blowing around in a very powerful storm. That's it. Shu Kang laughed, and then his whole person became a little different. The whole body seems to have a layer of devil's coat attached, and the power of darkness around it is also getting stronger and stronger. Since your name is White Blast, why don't I call it Black Blast? After Shu Kang finished speaking, he controlled the power of darkness and rushed towards Smoker with all his strength. Smoker was shocked. How is that possible? How can you have such a powerful imitation ability? In fact, Shu Kang changed the soup instead of the medicine. He copied Smoker's move with the writing wheel, and then released it again with the power of the devil. Smoker and Marine were blown away in an instant, then fell to the side of the road and seemed to pass out in a coma. Hey, I really didn't beat him. Shu Kang saw that the people around him were already watching him, so he immediately left the place. Shu Kang inadvertently came to the door of a cafe, and just wanted to go in and hide for a while, but found two men at the door of the cafe, who seemed to be frightening a woman. Stop being wordy. Our boss was caught by her and put in jail. You haven't learned your lesson yet? The blue black-haired woman asked rhetorically. Yeah, we can't take this breath if we go on like this. We're going to throw your body in front of him. The two pirates threatened. Understood, I am happy to accompany you. The blue-haired woman then easily chopped her opponent down to the ground. The woman accidentally fell to the ground, but the glasses fell in front of Zoro. Oh, what a pair of enemies. The identity of the woman in front of her was Marine, but she looked exactly like Zoro's former friend Kuina. Shu Kang couldn't imagine the follow-up development. Therefore, Shu Kang quickly left the place where the dog food was thrown. Oh, it's really boring. It's rare to come out, but I met a Smoker on the front foot, and Tashigi on the back foot. Shu Kang was really bored, so he found a barber shop and planned to trim his waist-length hair. How to cut it? This guest. The boss asked very politely. My hair is too long, just cut it short. Let's go back. Dye it white. Shu Kang had money and time, so naturally he spent some time in the barber shop. Do you think you are satisfied? At this moment, Shu Kang couldn't recognize himself when he saw himself in the mirror. With a white back and white eyebrows, the whole person is like coming out of an anime. Shu Kang gave the boss a tip, and the moment he walked out the door, he used the devil suit to put on Virgil's clothes in Devil May Cry. The whole person completely changed the style. However, at this moment, the atmosphere on the street has undergone extreme changes, and the originally peaceful street is full of panic. The whole of Loguetown has become cloudy and many people are running away on the streets. Shu Kang hurriedly asked, "Excuse me, what happened?" The young lady said in horror, "A pirate has invaded Loguetown." Where? Shu Kang asked. At the execution stand. Miss Sister replied and ran away immediately. Could it be Luffy? After Shu Kang heard it, he was naturally worried for his companions. At this time, somewhere above Loguetown, a beautiful fireworks appeared with a bang. The fireworks finally revealed the Straw Hat Pirates logo. Oops, there is a signal, which means that the companion is in danger. Shu Kang immediately rushed to the place where the signal was sent. Unexpectedly, the place where the signal was transmitted turned out to be the execution platform square. At this time, on the execution platform, the clown buggy has locked Luffy, obviously wanting to solve Luffy. You're going to die, Luffy. The clown buggy was about to kill the killer. Sanji and Zoro had already rushed out, but Alvida and the others who ate the slippery fruit temporarily stopped Sanji and Zoro. And Shu Kang could already see the Marine's ambush around him. As long as the gun rang, all the pirates would be surrounded by Marine. At this moment, a thunderbolt struck down and struck the execution platform impartially. Because Luffy was rubber, he was unscathed. Clown Buggy was struck by lightning. At this time, the Marine of Loguetown all appeared, and soon all the pirates were surrounded. Chapter 28 Enter the Upside Down Mountain for collection. For silver ticket. Pirates and Marines started to fight. Shu Kang was relieved when he saw this. Monkey D. Long. Just scared me to death. Shu Kang muttered to himself. Flee now, Luffy. If you don't leave now, you won't be able to go to the Great Channel. Sanji and the others said. Let's go. I'll give you a break. Shu Kang said. Trouble you. Knowing Shu Kang's ability, Luffy naturally chose to trust him. He followed Sanji, Zoro and the others and ran towards the port quickly. And Smoker also ordered at this time, I will never let them go. However, Marine was quickly chopped to the ground by Shu Kang, and Marine had to watch Shu Kang and the Straw Hats go away like this. I'm in the name of Colonel Marine Smoker. Never let them escape this island. Smoker shot again. At this time, Shu Kang keenly captured a powerful person. Shu Kang followed in a blink of an eye, and the man asked, What are you doing? This gentleman. Monkey D. Dragon. I'm Luffy's companion. Shu Kang revealed the dragon's identity in one bite. Oh, you know me. You can keep up with me. It seems that you have good strength and have super judgment. Long did not admit his identity, but he did not deny it either. Thank you for your compliment. I have nothing to do. Since you came to see Luffy, I will represent Luffy and meet you to show respect. Shu Kang's words revealed a trace of respect, but more of a confidence. Ha! With you as Luffy's partner, I will have a lot of peace of mind. Let the wind blow. The storm of fate is coming. After the dragon finished speaking, he disappeared. What a strange father. He's crazy. Shu Kang then ignored the dragon and quickly chased after Luffy and the others. Shu Kang knew that Monkey D. Long should buy some time for everyone. Due to the rain, Buggy's men did not succeed in burning Mary. Soon Usopp, Nami and others returned and jumped onto the boat at the fastest speed. Due to Marine's continuous attack, Nami and others had to set off ahead of schedule. I thought that Smoker would buy a lot of time for the Straw Hat and others to deal with the clown Buggy and Alvida. However, because of Smoker's ability, Buggy and Alvida and others were easily caught, and on the motorcycle, Smoker had caught up with Luffy and others. Tashigi starts against Zoro. Luffy started playing against Smoker. As for Shu Kang, he jumped onto the boat with Sanji directly. Luffy Zoro hasn't boarded the boat yet, but we have to leave. Nami had no choice, the current was too fast, and there was no way to dock at this time. Zoro defeated Tashigi and finally chose to show mercy. Luffy is no match for Smoker at all. After all, it can be said that the current Logia abilities are difficult to beat. However, in the end, it was Monkey D. Long who came out and directly used his ability to blow a strong wind, and finally Luffy and Zoro got rid of the pursuit of Smoker and others. Eventually, Luffy used his rubber abilities to bounce Zoro along with him onto Mary. In the end, the entire Straw Hat group arrived. Although this trip to Loguetown was very embarrassing, it could be described as a near miss, and everyone finally completed what they wanted to do. The storm was still there, but the wind was in the right direction. Mary quickly disappeared above the sea, and even if Marine tried to find them, he couldn't find them at all. The Straw Hats have completely escaped Loguetown and are completely safe. Not long after Mary drove, everyone saw the lighthouse standing in the distance. Look at that light, Nami prompted. Is it the lighthouse on the island? Usopp asked. The guiding light, the end of the light where the entrance to the Great Channel is, said Nami. As the Great Fairway just ahead. Luffy couldn't contain his excitement. Everyone was very excited. Sanji suggested, in order to celebrate our ship is about to enter the Great Waterway, let's come to the launching ceremony. Then put his foot on the barrel and said, I'm here to find Allblue. Luffy also put on his feet and said confidently, I want to be One Piece King of Pirates. I want to be a great swordsman. Zoro also put his feet up and replied very ambitiously. I'm here to map the world. Nami said. I I want to be a brave seamount warrior, Usopp said with courage. Only Shu Kang did not move, and everyone looked at him suspiciously. Do you want me to? Shu Kang asked. Bullshit, everyone yelled. Come on. Talk about your dreams. Shu Kang thought for a while, and finally put his feet up, and then said, I'm here to make all your wishes come true. Great, but, is it true? How could anyone have such a wish? Usopp is skeptical. I trust him, Luffy said with a smile. We all believe it, the companions finally said in unison, and Shu Kang also felt very warm in his heart. Being able to become partners with the protagonists of the original book and go on adventures with them is something I have always dreamed of. Going to the Great Channel, Luffy announced. Everyone lifted their feet in unison and put them back, and the rest of the matter was to devote themselves to the next adventure. At this time, the voice that Shu Kang was thinking about day and night really appeared again. Ding ding ding. Congratulations to the host. Congratulations to your successful entry and exit from Loguetown. Sign in successfully. The system rewards you with the bloodline of the Uzumaki clan in the Naruto world. What? The bloodline of the Vortex clan. Shu Kang was very happy. I worked hard to condense chakra before, but I didn't expect chakra to be delivered to the door by myself. Uzumaki Naruto's chakra is powerful, on the one hand because he is a nine-tailed man, on the other hand, because he is born with the blood of the Uzumaki family, and the chakra is far beyond ordinary ninjas. Now that the system rewards the bloodline of Shu Kang's Whirlpool clan, Shu Kang's total chakra is naturally a great improvement. Although Shu Kang can't keep the double hook jade writing wheel ice state normally now, but it has also greatly increased the use time than before. In this way, it is possible to use ninjutsu in future battles. Shu Kang was still looking forward to the rewards in the future. Some people may ask, since Shu Kang has chakra, why didn't he study ninjutsu? In fact, Shu Kang also studied some ninjutsu in his spare time, such as Spiral Pill. However, Shu Kang didn't know how to use the technique at all. Apart from writing round eyes, Shu Kang didn't know any other techniques. The time was spent in a series of studies and enhancements. Hey, I see it. I saw incredible mountains. Luffy suddenly called everyone out from the deck. The mountain in front of him was huge, and the cloud blocked his view, so he couldn't see the top of the mountain. Is this the Red Earth continent? Luffy asked excitedly. Chapter 29-Kurotas. Zoro held the telescope, and when he saw the scene in front of him, he couldn't help but said, "This is amazing. The sea is really climbing up the mountain." Soon, Mary followed the water all the way towards the top of the upside-down mountain. After a period of time, Mary flew directly to the top of the mountain. After not staying at the top of the mountain for long, Mary rushed directly down the mountain. But soon, everyone heard a strange cry. "Did you hear anything just now?" Zoro asked. "What did you say?" Nami asked rhetorically. After all, Mary was making too much noise. "Didn't you hear anything strange?" Zoro asked again. "Is that the sound of wind? It must be because the terrain here is so strange," Nami said with certainty. However, Usopp saw an unknown object appearing ahead. "Hey, Miss Nami, I see a mountain ahead," said Usopp. Impossible. In Nami's memory, after entering the Great Waterway, there were no mountains along the way. But there are indeed, Usopp said truthfully. "Never mind. Go ahead." Luffy was still very excited. "Don't worry. It's fine." Shu Kang comforted him, and Usopp was relieved. What Shu Kang said was always reassuring, because so far, what Shu Kang said was 100% correct. Except for the twin cape in front, it should be all the sea. Nami also echoed. However, when everyone finally came down, they realized that what was in front of them was not a mountain at all, but a huge whale with scars all over its head. Everyone instantly panicked. Everyone wanted to turn the rudder to the left to avoid the huge whale in front of them, but the rudder was broken at this time. At this time, Shu Kang appeared handsomely again. He stopped Luffy from firing the cannon, and completely attached the power of the devil fruit to himself. Then the phantom behind Shu Kang immediately became extremely huge. Stop! Shu Kang pushed the whale's body with his palm, and Mary stopped in place unharmed. Although Mary had stopped in place safely, Nami, Usopp and the others still closed their eyes tightly. They didn't dare to see what happened. Why? There is no sound. What happened? What happened? Usopp and the others opened their eyes. When they saw that Shu Kang actually prevented Mary from hitting the whale, everyone's hanging heart was released. If it wasn't for Shu Kang, we might be dead. Nami still shudders a little when she thinks of the scene just now. It would be a joke if everyone collided with the boat just after passing through the Great Waterway. And Zoro, Luffy and others also swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Seeing that the boat had completely listened to it, Shu Kang naturally put away his demonic power. Quick! Run away! Now! Zoro said immediately. Immediately afterwards, everyone paddled quickly, and Mary quickly passed through the gap beside the whale. The whale made a cry, but everyone covered their ears. My ears hurt. Get away from him! Usopp yelled. However, the whale opened its mouth, and then going Mary and the Straw Hat group were swallowed into the whale's stomach so easily. Hey, Shu Kang, hurry up and do something. Nami urged immediately. Yeah, we are already like this, why are you still in a hurry? Usopp's tears were about to fall. Hey, nervous, isn't it just swallowed by a whale? Shu Kang still doesn't care. Everyone nearly fainted. In this way, the whale swallowed everyone and Mary into his mouth and closed his mouth. However, Luffy was unfortunately separated from his friends. However, when everyone thought that they were bound to die, they found that there was something unique around them. Hey, what do you think? Sanji asked. What do you think? What do you think I should think? Zoro didn't know how to answer Sanji at this time. I thought we must have been swallowed by a whale. Is this a dream? Sanji looked at the small island next to Mary, and there was a small house on the small island. Looking at the surrounding clouds and the colorful sea, Shu Kang said, if you say it, you may not believe it. We are now in the belly of a whale. No way. Nami couldn't believe it. But if it's really in the belly of a whale, what does that island and house mean? Nami asked. At this moment, a voice suddenly came from not far in front of Mary, and a huge squid rushed out. The Straw Hats and his party were all ready to fight. However, a series of weapons were fired from the house, and in the end, the giant squid was easily knocked down. At this moment, a figure walked out of the room. The man was wearing a red shirt and round glasses, but his hair was weird and seemed to have a lot of flowers in it. Who is this old man? Defeat this giant squid so easily. To save us. In the end, the old man came out, and finally sat on the bench and read the newspaper. What are you talking about? Sanji couldn't help but complain. The old grandpa looked at Mary in hindsight and then said, oh. So there is someone. Grandpa, where is this place, and who are you? I don't know if you can tell me. Sanji asked very directly. Isn't it polite to state your name first when asking other people's questions? The old man asked rhetorically. Seeing this, Zoro immediately said, that's right, I'm so sorry, my name is. As a result, the old man actually introduced himself by himself. My name is Kurotas, I am the lighthouse keeper of Twin Cape. I am 71 years old, Gemini, type AB. Zoro angrily said, can I cut him? You ask me where this is. You broke into my private holiday center, and you are so arrogant. Do you think this is the belly of a mouse? After Kurotas finished speaking, everyone was even more certain that it was indeed eaten by whales. Wait a minute, what will happen to us? I don't want to be digested. Nami said worriedly. If it's the exit, it's there. Kurotas pointed, but he didn't expect that there was a gate in the belly of the whale. Wait a minute, why is there an outlet in the whale's belly? Nami expressed very puzzled. As a result, everyone discovered that the seagulls in the sky and the sea in the whale's stomach were actually paintings. But when everyone was about to leave, the whale swayed. Everyone on Mary and the small island of Kurotas began to shake violently. Has it started? Kurotas said very mysteriously. What started? Explain it. Usopp also asked anxiously. Chapter 30_Whale Laboon, Seeking Collection. Seeking Silver Ticket. This whale has started hitting the red soil continent with its head. Kurotas said. So that's it, is this person trying to kill him inside the whale? Let's leave quickly, there is no obligation to rescue this whale. Sanji, Zoro and others said. At this time, everyone was rowing in peace, trying to leave the belly of the whale. However, at this time, Kurotas jumped into the stomach acid of the whale, and after a while, Kurotas began to climb to a small door above the exit. Suddenly, a loud cry of, "Ah!" came out, and 3 figures suddenly flew in from the small door. Those people are. Kurotas is a little unsure. However, Shu Kang, who was in the Straw Hat group, recognized the origin of the person at a glance. One is Luffy, another is an agent of Bakuro Walker in green, and the other is the blue-haired Alabasta's princess, Vivi. The 3 of them fell into the sea of stomach acid just like that. Help me, Luffy said before sinking into stomach acid. The whale slowly stabilized, and everyone then rescued the 3 drowning people. So who are these people? Mr. .9. Blue-haired Vivi asked. These guys are pirates. Probably, Miss Wednesday. Mr. 9 with orange hair and a crown responded. At this time, when Kurotas came back, he said very sternly, you villains are still there. As long as I am still here, I will never allow you to touch Laboon's hair. Even if you say that, we still can't go back. It's our mission to kill this whale, you can't stop us from whaling today. Vivi and her partner sang in harmony. Look at me making a big hole in his stomach. The Bakuro duo picked up the cannon and tried to bombard the inside of the whale just like that. However, at this time, Kurotas rushed up and used his body to block the 2 shells. Immediately after 2 bang sounds, the shells exploded like this. That old man actually used his body to block the shells. Usopp looked very shocked. He had never seen anyone do this for a whale. Is he protecting the whale? Sanji said. Ha ha ha, stop doing pointless things, Vivi said. If you want to protect it, let's try it. This whale is going to be the food in our town. Mr. 9 said very proudly, as if he was determined to win in the whale Laboon. However, at this time, Luffy took the initiative to repair the 2. I beat them for some reason, Luffy said. Soon, Kurotas invited everyone to return to his island. Thank you for helping me, although I don't know why, Kurotas thanked. I'm not trying to help you, I just don't like them for some reason, Luffy said. I said what are you doing here? Luffy asked. What are you doing in the belly of this whale? Everyone asked. The target of these bad guys is Laboon. If you catch Laboon, you will be hungry for 2 or 3 years worth of food. Laboon is the name of this whale. He is an island whale who lives only in West Blue. The largest whale in the world. Kurotas briefly introduced Laboon. There is a reason why this guy keeps hitting the red soil continent and keeps yelling at the upside down mountain. Then, Kurotas told everyone the story of what happened between the whale Laboon and the Rumba pirates here. Okay, I'll take you out of here next. Kurotas then boarded Mary with the Straw Hats and his party, and walked with everyone from the exit. What an amazing waterway. It's a shame that he can still live after leaving so many holes by himself. Everyone felt very surprised. I'm a doctor, don't look at me like this. Kurotas said very proudly. And it's the ship doctor on Gul D. Roger's ship. Shu Kang, who had been silent for a while, suddenly said something, shocking everyone. No way, this old grandfather. Everyone looked at Shu Kang and Kurotas in disbelief. Really? Luffy asked, staring at Kurotas. Well, guess. Kurotas looked at Shu Kang embarrassedly and said, this gentleman, may I ask who you are? Shu Kang first bowed his head with a respectful Vivi, and then said, of course we are all pirates, pursuing the distance and the sea. My name is Shu Kang, and the initial reward is 50 million Bailey. Yes, it's really terrible. It seems that the sea is going to be lively again. Kuroda skillfully avoided the relationship between himself and One Piece King of Pirates Roger. But Luffy immediately invited. Grandpa is so powerful, why don't you get on our ship and become a ship doctor for us? It's not necessary. I don't have the strength to be like you. After all, people are old. That's why you were in the belly of the whale, treating Laboon. Only then did everyone figure out what happened. That's right, his injury is so serious that he can't be treated externally. Well, I'm going to open it. Kuroda then opened the door, and then, everyone finally rode merry. From the whale Laboon's body somewhere came out. At this time, Miss Wednesday and Mr. Point 9 woke up one after another, and while everyone was chatting, the topic of why Laboon's friends had not appeared so far. I have received news that the Rumba pirates have escaped the Great Route. Kuroda said. No way. Then why didn't you tell Laboon? That way she wouldn't hurt herself again. Nami and the others said. It would be nice if it were that simple, Kuroda said. Did they ignore the previous agreement? Sanji also felt that these people were a little unreasonable. The Great Channel is such a terrifying place, maybe they have given up on the adventure. Kuroda said with uncertainty. No, the Rumba pirates did not escape the Great Channel. Shu Kang said. Why do you say that? Everyone was very interested in Shu Kang's words. So far, everything Shu Kang said was correct. Among the companions, everyone gave Shu Kang a nickname, the Prophet, or saying that it is more appropriate to be called a prophet. I can feel that the Rumba pirates have all died in the Great Waterway, but there is one person who is still alive. Shu Kang pretended to be a mystery, and Kuroda's looked like he didn't believe it. Oh, who is it? Kuroda's asked deliberately. He almost remembered everyone's names. It's a man named Brook, a musician. He should be in the first half of the Great Waterway, and I feel like we'll meet sooner or later. After Shu Kang said Brook, Kuroda's was stunned, saying so, Shu Kang seems to really know everything. Please follow up, don't support books, and I will revise and polish the previous chapters every day. I hope you can point out some mistakes. Chapter 31 Luffy and Laboon's Promise Seeking Collection. Seeking silver. But at this time, the tranquilizer on Laboon's body seemed to have lost its effect. Laboon went mad again and began to attack Mary. At this moment, Luffy launched an attack on the whale Laboon in one go. Although Luffy is powerful, the fight seems to be very fierce. Everyone believed that Luffy would never hurt Laboon the whale, but everyone just didn't understand what Luffy wanted to do for a while. This guy, what does it mean? Sanji and the others didn't understand after watching it for a long time. If this goes on like this, both Laboon and Luffy will be hurt. Nami said worriedly. No, they must be stopped. Usopp is ready to take action. Don't be impatient, Luffy naturally has his own way. Shu Kang stopped everyone who wanted to take part. At this time, Luffy was knocked out by Laboon, but got up and said, a draw. I'm very strong. Do you want to beat me? We haven't decided yet, so we have to continue to fight. Although your companions are dead, I will always be your opponent. Let's fight again and decide who is more powerful. We'll come back to you after we circle the Great Route, and then we'll fight again. Luffy said with a smile. And the whale Laboon suddenly felt that his existence was meaningful again, and there were endless tears in his eyes. Immediately afterwards, Luffy drew a very ugly straw hat on the head of the whale Laboon and said, before you come back, don't smash him. Everyone looked at the faint smile, which seemed to be a perfect ending. Afterwards, everyone worked hard to repair Mary, and they were ready to leave Twin Cape to officially enter the Great Channel. As for Princess Vivi and his partner, Shu Kang saw their departure, but he didn't make a move, just put their record pointer. I took it back secretly. At this time, everyone was busy with their work before departure, but Nami shouted that the compass was broken. At this time, Shu Kang took the initiative to come out and give the recording pointer to Nami. The islands of the Great Route contain a lot of magnetic minerals, so the magnetic field of the entire route is very abnormal, and the current and wind direction are fluctuating. Therefore, if you want to sail in the Great Waterway, you must have a recording pointer, and that's what I gave you. It's a special compass that records the magnetic force, without which it would be impossible to navigate the waterway. After Shu Kang's highlight moment, Kuroda's applauded. It seems that some of you have done your homework in advance. He is right. What we know now is that the islands scattered around the Great Waterway are magnetically linked together according to a certain law. That is to say, you have to write down the magnetic force that connects the islands with the recording pointer, so that you can find the route to take down an island. Quote, in this sea area where you can't even grasp the exact location, the only thing you can rely on is the magnetic force recorded by the recording pointer. First of all, you have to choose one of the 7 magnetic lines of force extending from this upside-down mountain, but no matter which island you start from, the route will eventually be fixed on a line, and then you will eventually reach that island. Laugh tale. The end of the great voyage. Only One Piece, King of Pirates, has ever reached that island in history, and it is a legendary island. After Kuroda's and Shu Kang finished their speeches, the Straw Hats and his party deepened their understanding of the Great Channel. So, it should be there. One Piece. Usopp said. Who knows? No one's been there, though that's the most convincing argument, Kuroda said. Aren't you the ship doctor of One Piece, King of Pirates? Usopp asked. Look, what is flying in the sky? Kuroda said. Everyone then turned their heads, and when they turned back, Kuroda's was ready to leave. Knowing that Kuroda's didn't want to talk about things related to Roger, everyone naturally stopped asking. And then, because Luffy ate all Sanji's meal, Sanji attacked Luffy and Nami's record pointer was damaged. You guys, do you know the importance of this thing? Nami was about to get angry, but Kuroda still waved his hand. Don't worry, I'll give you mine. Thank you for saving Laboon. Kuroda finally gave his pointer to Nami, and Nami kept it properly. However, at this time Vivi and his partner suddenly appeared, lowered their posture and said, we have something to ask for. Luffy and others that they wanted to go to Whiskey Peak. Whiskey Peak. What's that? Luffy asked. The first stop of one of the great waterways. Shu Kang reminded, and everyone understood. Yes, it's the town where we live, and our ship is broken. Mr. 9 said. Why do you think we will help you? Did you want to kill Laboon just now? Nami asked back, who are you? Mr. 9 replied, I am the king. Who would believe it? Nami couldn't help complaining. Vivi said, I can't say. However, we want to go back to town, and we don't want to be so sneaky. But anyway, our company is all about mystery, so we can't say anything, said Mr. 9 and Vivi. Immediately afterwards, everyone turned their attention to Shu Kang's side. See what I do? Shu Kang asked back. Prophet, tell me, should we take them there? Will they stab them in the back? The crowd asked. Seeing this, Shu Kang also wiped the sweat from his forehead, but he did not expect that these group of partners really regarded themselves as prophets. Wait a minute, Shu Kang had no choice but to pretend to be mysterious, and then said, I already know your identities. It turns out that you are the agents of Baroque Works. After Shu Kang's voice fell, the two instantly became a lot nervous. Their identities were top secret, and it was naturally impossible for ordinary people to know. However, they did not expect that Shu Kang only added, one is a fake king, and the other is a princess. Shu Kang's words made Vivi nervous. Not only was his identity as a special agent known, but his hidden identity was also guessed. What time is it? Still joking. Nami urged, will you bring them? Shu Kang. I beg you, we came to ask for help only because of your character. We will definitely repay this kindness. The two ask again, I hope everyone can take them for a ride. But Kuroda said, no matter what they say, these guys are not good people. A lot of fast-paced fanfiction will end before 30W. I just want to break this curse and write millions in one go. Therefore, this book needs everyone's support. Comments and banknotes are fine. Thank you. Chapter 32 _ The weather of the Great Fairway, please collect. Ask for a silver ticket. Bring them, this is my suggestion. Shu Kang thought about it, then nodded and said. Really, Shu Kang, are you sure to bring these two people? The companions on the boat confirmed again and again. But then again, this should be the last record pointer. If it is broken, there will be no more. If they don't go with us, they may never go back. Nami said. Okay, then you can come up. Luffy saw that everyone had no objection, and Shu Kang agreed, so naturally he let them come up. You said you were going to Whiskey Peak. Then go there, Luffy confirmed. Because Shu Kang also agreed, the others were too embarrassed to say anything. Of course, they were wary of the two of them. After all, these two were so-called bad guys. Okay, it's almost time to go, Luffy said. Who are you? Asked Princess Vivi. Me, to be the One Piece King of Pirates, Luffy said firmly. Haha, stupid pirate, Vivi and his partner snickered. Then, against the backdrop of a setting sun, Luffy and others announced their departure. Everyone said goodbye to Kuroda's and the whale Laboon, and galloped like the wind on the sea. But this time, it was very strange. Even though he had already left the Twin Cape, the system did not appear for a long time, but Shu Kang directly dispatched to call the system. System, what's going on? Why isn't there a reward reminder this time? System responded immediately. Hello host, Twin Cape is not within the scope of check-in. The places we check in are limited to the main islands that we have been to together with Luffy, such as the islands on the Great Waterway. After hearing this, Shu Kang nodded disappointedly and said, so that's the case, I know. Host, don't be so disappointed, you will definitely look forward to the rewards on the Great Waterway. Because compared to the islands on East Blue, those rewards are really powerful. The system reminded. Okay, I see, since you said so, I can't say anything. In the process of sailing on the sea, Shu Kang naturally refined chakra in his own room. However, Shu Kang hadn't refined it for long when suddenly there was a knock on the door. Dong dong dong. Who is it? Shu Kang asked. Hello, Mr. Shu Kang, this is Miss Wednesday. It turned out to be you. What happened? Come in and say that the door is unlocked. After Shu Kang finished speaking, Princess Vivi entered Shu Kang's room. After Princess Vivi entered Shu Kang's room, the whole person was a little shocked. He was obviously an unruly teenager who should have been the most arrogant age, but he didn't expect the room to be spotlessly clean. All the clothes were neatly folded, and there was a faint fragrance. The house is neat and odorless. It's either a fake girl or a gay. Although in the original world, many of Shu Kang's friends said that to Shu Kang, but most of them were big men who didn't know how to live a delicate life. People are naturally more willing to get along with Shu Kang. What's the matter, Miss Wednesday? Or should I call you Princess? Shu Kang said. After Princess Vivi entered Shu Kang's room, the whole person was a little shocked. He was obviously an unruly teenager who should have been the most arrogant age, but he didn't expect the room to be spotlessly clean. All the clothes were neatly folded, and there was a faint fragrance. The house is neat and odorless. It's either a fake girl or a gay. Although in the original world, many of Shu Kang's friends said that to Shu Kang, but most of them were big men who didn't know how to live a delicate life. People are naturally more willing to get along with Shu Kang. What's the matter, Miss Wednesday? Or should I call you Princess? Shu Kang said. Do you really know everything? Everyone says that you are a prophet or a prophet. Could it be that you can really predict a prophet? Princess Vivi was a little anxious, but she still forced herself not to be so anxious. I'm not a prophet, it's just that I know some things. Shu Kang silently pretended to force. You are the Princess of Alabasta, who secretly infiltrated the Baroque Works Club and became their agent, codenamed Miss Wednesday. I said right. Princess Vivi was silent, she dared not admit it. Since you don't speak, you are acquiescing. The reason why you sneaked into the Baroque Works Club is to find out one thing. and that is the real cause of the drought in your country and the war. Am I right? Shu Kang. Once again the revelations completely convinced Princess Vivi. Prophet Shu Kang. What should I do? Princess Vivi asked very vaguely. We can't tell you. At this moment, Nami quietly came in through the door, and then closed the door firmly. Shu Kang had long known that Nami was eavesdropping outside, but he was not sure what Nami wanted to do. However, there were actually 2 girls in the room at this time, which was a good feeling. I can't believe that you are really a princess. If we help you, at least give us some compensation, right? Nami said. You've heard. Vivi didn't know what to say. Seeing this, Shu Kang immediately said, Nami, since you have heard it, I will say it straight. Princess Vivi's country is in a state of emergency, and the reason why she sneaked in as an agent is to find out some truth. Although we can't give us much bail now, but after we get there, we can ask the king directly. What do you think? Shu Kang was very reasonable, and even Nami nodded in agreement. Why don't you two pretend that you haven't been here before, and proceed according to your original plan? Shu Kang said. But Whiskey Mountain. As soon as Vivi was about to go on, Shu Kang said, Okay, don't talk about it. I'm a prophet, you said it, we can't help you, let's go. In this way, Nami and Vivi left Shu Kang's room. The episode was over, and soon after, Mary had reached a new sea. The sun was shining brightly at the last moment, but at this moment, it suddenly started to snow with goose feathers, but after a while, the Mary was covered with thick snow, which made everyone very puzzled, but the most puzzled was naturally the navigator Nami. She couldn't help but start complaining. What the hell is going on with this heavy snow? It was so warm just now. At this point, Luffy Usopp had already started to build snowmen on the deck and started snowball fights. It's obvious that they wear so little and it's so cold, why are those guys so energetic? Nami doesn't understand at all what Luffy and others think. Sanji was very obedient enough to shovel snow on the deck with a shovel. Soon, however, the sky began to thunder, and then the clouds became dense, and the wind began to blow. Chapter 33 _ Welcome to the town of pirates. Please collect. Ask for a silver ticket. What the hell is this weather? Nami really doesn't understand what's going on with this weather. It was sunny until just now, then it suddenly snowed, and then there was thunder, and the seasons and weather were all in chaos. Nami was overheard by Princess Vivi and Mr. Nine, and then said, just like Shu Kang and Ku what Rhoda said, this is the Great Channel, and you don't seem to know anything. You haven't been at the helm since just now, is that okay? Vivi asked. I've confirmed the direction and it shouldn't be a problem. At this time, Nami walked to the direction of the helm, but found that someone was already at the helm there. Shu Kang, why are you at the helm? Nami asked with great confusion. How big is your heart? On the Great Waterway, it doesn't matter if you adjust the direction. The ship has long been blown off the course, and I have tried my best to stabilize the direction. After Shu Kang finished speaking, only then did Nami see that the direction of the recording pointer had actually shifted. This was when Shu Kang tried to be as stable as possible. Without Shu Kang, the entire ship would never be able to leave this sea area. Immediately afterwards, the weather changed again, and the surrounding fog suddenly began to form, making it difficult to see what was on the sea, but soon, Usopp said in shock, wow. There is iceberg ahead. Because the speed of the boat was too fast to avoid it, Shu Kang pulled out his Shira and said, aye aye. Immediately afterwards, Shira unsheathed, and the entire iceberg disappeared in place. Mary was able to pass safely. At this time, Zoro was still sleeping with his head down. There's really no one left. The hearts of this group of people are so big. The sky is falling, it doesn't matter. Then came a series of questions. What's the bottom leak? Make it up quickly. The clouds are moving so fast. The storm is coming. Fast up the sails, or it will capsize. Nami is doing the commanding job, and Shu Kang is also working very hard to tinker with Mary. I don't know how long it took. everyone was tired and lay on the ground. Zoro stretched his waist. Wake up. Then he walked on the deck, saw everyone on the deck and said, hey, even if the weather is good, you are too lazy. You should still be in the original position. On the route. Immediately afterwards, everyone slammed into Zoro, and even Zoro himself didn't know what he had done wrong. The weather on the Great Passage is really bad. Even I can't handle it very well, but even so, there will always be a way. The proof is, look. The first leg of the voyage is over. Nami pointed. Distance. Sure enough, everyone saw a new island. Everyone's faces were full of excitement. However, Shu Kang is also very happy. After all, this is the first island in the Great Waterway, and he is about to receive higher quality rewards. What a wonderful island. What a big cactus. Looks like we're almost there. This is Whiskey Mountain, Shu Kang said. Now that we're here, thank you all for giving us a ride. Let's say goodbye here. While speaking, Vivi and his partner turned around and jumped into the water, doing all the acting. In order to follow Shu Kang's plan, Vivi could only pretend that he had not seen Shu Kang. Was a river in front of him, and Mary walked along the river, and he could see the mountains on the left and right. It seems that you can go inland by boat. Nami said. There won't be any monsters, right? Usopp said worriedly. There are as many possibilities as possible, don't forget, this is the Great Waterway. Sanji said very seriously. If you encounter a monster, just escape from the island, right? Luffy looked fearless. Wait a minute, don't forget, we have to stay on this island for a while. If the entire record pointer doesn't record the magnetic force of this island, there is no way to go to the next island. Because the speeds recorded on different islands are different, some islands take a few hours, but some islands take days. Nami explained. What do you mean? That is to say, even if this is a monster island that must be escaped immediately, it must stay here until the magnetic recording is completed. Usopp realized that it was not good. That's it. Nami nodded. What are you afraid of? I'm here. What do you want on the Great Route, but it still can't hinder us. Shu Kang cheered everyone up, and Usopp and the others regained their confidence. What Shu Kang said is fine. If you really encounter a monster, you can just think about what to do when the time comes. Luffy said with a smile. Let's go, it's no use just thinking, let's go. Zoro said the same. No matter what happens, I will protect Miss Nami. Sanji was still courteous to Nami. Then, we're going in, listen, don't forget to prepare to escape and fight. Nami said, looking at the people left and right. Gradually, Going Merry drove into the inland, surrounded by a cloud of smoke, making it difficult to see what was there. In the thick fog, Shu Kang could clearly feel that some people were watching them somewhere. The deeper you drive in, the more people around you. Everyone, be careful. Nami and Luffy and other partners have also discovered that something is wrong. However, when the smoke dissipated, it was found that there were countless townspeople standing on the left and right banks, and these townspeople were shouting loudly. Welcome. Welcome to the first stop on the Great Waterway. Welcome to our town. Welcome to the hospitable town, Whiskey Peak. The excitement and joy of these townspeople doesn't seem like a fake, they seem to sincerely hope that pirates will come to their town. Not only are there no monsters, we are also welcomed. Usopp was also very puzzled. I said, don't take it lightly, these people are not good people. Shu Kang's words made everyone wary again. Luffy, however, was immersed in joy. Pirates, welcome. Heroes of the sea, long live. With the enthusiasm of these people, everyone quickly put Shu Kang's words behind them, and gradually let go of their vigilance. In this regard, Shu Kang had nothing to do at all. Who told me to go out to sea with Luffy? The boat finally stopped at a port, and a man with curly hair who looked very much like a musician said, Happy. Well Tilda, welcome everyone, my name is EPUB, and now I'm the boss of Whiskey Mountain. Mayor. My name is Luffy, and I said Uncle, isn't your hair too curly? Luffy pointed to EPUB and said. This is a town famous for winemaking and music, the peak of whiskey, and entertaining guests is our greatest pride, and there is a wine that we are proud of, which is like the rudder of the sea, using your adventure stories so far as come and enjoy the banquet with me. Chapter 34 Hands on Zoro. Cough. Well, how about going to enjoy the banquet together? Ikulem asked. Very happy. Sanji, Luffy and Usopp have been completely brainwashed. 3 idiots. Nami scolded, then asked, I said, how long will it take to record the magnetic force on this island? Record. This kind of boring thing will be put aside for now. Let's relieve the fatigue of the journey first. Come on. Let's prepare the banquet. Come and entertain the adventurers. Zoro didn't say much. He likes fine wine the most. Hearing that there is fine wine, he naturally put down his guard. Seeing this, Shu Kang had no choice but to follow everyone to attend the banquet hosted by Ikulem for the time being. For a whole afternoon, everyone was immersed in a crazy banquet. Music, beer, food. Usopp brazenly bragged, while Ikaram hosted the cheers, and with money at stake, even Nami took part. Not to mention Zoro, who was unconscious after drinking it. As for Luffy, he perfectly displayed the characteristics of his overeating. He used meat as his staple food and ate one plate after another, which made everyone stunned. Sanji is all kinds of with girls, sweet talk, looks very sweet. As for Shu Kang, he was too bored to play marbles with a group of people, which everyone did not expect. However, since Shu Kang knew the identities of this group of people for a long time, he was naturally guarded. Seeing the situation in front of him, Ikulem said, Oops. Tilda, what a great night. It's great to see everyone so happy. Time passed little by little, and in the drinking competition, Nami won, but she also fainted. And Luffy fell to the ground when he was full, who was going to whistle. As for Usopp and Sanji, they both lay on the ground beautifully and fell asleep. Seeing this, Shu Kang also fell to the ground, pretending to have fallen asleep. Everyone in the Straw Hat group was already asleep at this time. When Ikaram left, he said, Tired of playing, are you asleep? I wish you a good dream. Adventurers. Tonight, the Cactus Rock dancing under Gecko is also beautiful. Next, Ikulem met Princess Vivi and her partner. Eventually Ikulem showed their bounty list. What? 30 million Baileys. Didn't expect that the edible Straw Hat boy would have so many bounties. Could it be a mistake? The 3 Bakuro looked disbelieving. There is absolutely no mistake. It is them, and there is someone who has a higher reward than him. You should take a closer look. Ikulem finally showed Shu Kang's reward list. What? 50 million. Bailey. Everyone was shocked. No, just them. There will be 50 million Baileys. Ikulem then taught. It's stupid to judge the abilities of the pirates by their appearance, miss. Well, miss. Monday. But forget it, it seems that I can report the good news to the boss. Hurry up and take down the treasure from their ship. Ikulem said. What about them then? If you kill them, the reward will be reduced by 30%, because the government wants to publicly execute them. Go. Catch them alive, Ikulem ordered. However, at this time, a voice came under Gecko's reflection. I said, I'm sorry, can I let them sleep well? Everyone is tired from the daytime sailing. The person who spoke was Zoro, who raised a knife high and sat on the roof. A group of people rushed out of the room very nervously and said, Mr. 8 Miss. On Monday, I don't know when, the man with the loincloth escaped from the house. He's there, said Princess Vivi. Ikulem asked very puzzled. You guy, shouldn't you be completely asleep? As a swordsman, you can't be killed by you idiots who are too careless at any time. Zoro said. That's what happened. This is the bounty hunter's lair. For those pirates who came to the Great Root with pride, they looted them as soon as they came up. There are about 100 bounty hunters here, right? I'll be your opponent, Baroque works. Zoro directly read out the companies of these people. Why do you know our company's name? Ikulem was taken aback. When I was doing your job before, your company tried to poach me, but of course I rejected it. The employees didn't know each other's origins in the company at all, and only used their code names to match them. Of course the location of the boss and even his true identity are a mystery to the members. The criminal group that faithfully executes the orders, Baroque works, is a secret, right? Zoro's feeling made all the bounty hunters on Cactus Island shudder. Really, I thought I was the only smart one. Shu Kang also walked out of the room slowly. What? How is that possible? Why are you still awake? Ekolem and others were once again shocked. Zoro was awake because he was wary. Why is the white-haired boy in front of him also awake? I already knew your identities, so I wasn't so enthusiastic at first, and then I pretended to be asleep because I wanted to see what you were going to do next, Shu Kang said. Forget it, since you know our secret, you can only kill you. Cactus Rock, there are 2 more tombstones. Ekolem said very bloodthirsty. Give it to me. After Ekolem finally announced the order to attack, Zoro and Shu Kang disappeared at the same time. Where did they go? Ekolem and others searched everywhere, but they couldn't find them at all. And Zoro and Shu Kang had appeared in the center of the crowd without knowing it. Okay, let's fight, Zoro said. Let's compare. Who of us cut down more people? The loser owes a good drink, how about that? Shu Kang suggested. Ha, interesting. Come on, Zoro agreed. The bounty hunters in front of them directly raised their guns and started shooting at the 2 of them, dong dong dong. However, the 2 disappeared at the same time again, causing the bullets of the bounty hunters to hit their companions one after another. These idiots, they actually beat their own people. Ekolem was also very angry. Get rid of them for me. It's just 2 swordsmen. Zoro's knife was inserted into Ekolem's curly hair as soon as Ekolem's words fell. Ask you one thing, just add a tombstone, right? Zoro asked. At this time, the bounty hunters pointed their guns at Ekolem, and then planned to pull the trigger. Chapter 35_Ba Kuro. You guys are going to kill me too. Saxophone shotgun. Immediately afterwards, Ekolem knocked down the bounty hunters in front of him. At this time, Zoro took the opportunity to hide behind the wall. To carry that dangerous thing, is that a shotgun? Look at us taking it very seriously. These 2 guys are strong. The Ba Kuro agents said to each other. Humph, do you really want to use 2 people against all of us? Ekolem said. It doesn't look like anything you would say after learning about our Baroque works. Boom. Zoro, don't be shy, let's go together. Seeing that Zoro was hiding, Shu Kang naturally showed up. Although countless bullets flew towards Shu Kang easily changed the direction of the bullets with just the scabbard. Shu Kang's knife was no longer so hard, but it was a combination of hardness and softness, breaking water and breaking gold. Quick, everyone, besiege this guy. Even if it is consumed, he will be consumed to death. Ekolem ordered. But what level of person is Shu Kang? In the growth period, it is naturally no problem for a person who can match the strongest swordsman in the world, Eagle Eye, to deal with a group of bounty hunters. Shu Kang was only trying to activate his muscles and bones. If he really wanted to kill someone, he would have pulled out his Asura long ago. Instead of now, dozens of people were knocked over just using the scabbard. Is this the pirate of 50 million Bailey? Just using the scabbard, is it because we are not even worthy of him to pull out the knife? Ekolem and others were also stunned. Strength is not in the same dimension at all. At this time, Zoro was also discovered by this group of bounty hunters, and then, both of them were besieged and killed by the bounty hunters. The end. Miss Monday shot, suppressing Zoro at first, but soon, Zoro pinched Miss Monday's head firmly, and finally pushed it to the ground. It's scary. These guys. Ekolem also took a step back in fear. Mr. 9, Miss Wednesday, let's shoot together. Ekolem said to the others, and then immediately used his proud skills. Saxophone. Shu Kang didn't move at all. He just waved the scabbard on his hand at a very fast speed, and even the shotgun shells that were fired hit other places. Miss Wednesday, let's go together, Mr. 9 said. Blood 9 backflips. Mr. 9 rolled down from the sky, and then said, the stick of perseverance. Shu Kang easily blocked these attacks. Ha ha, this is a metal rod. Don't bend your knife, Mr. 9 said very proudly. Are you an idiot? Why don't you go to the hospital and get a brain department? Shu Kang kicked Mr. 9 down to Zoro. Even Zoro completely suppressed Mr. 9. It has to be said that Agent Bakuro, who has no fruit ability, is the weakest character on the stage, although he is stronger than some million elders. The end. Zoro beat Mr. 9 with little seriousness. Be conscious, Mr. Bushido, come on, taste my beauty. Princess Vivi stood on the fast-running body, revealing the perfume on her hand. Look at me, charming perfume dance. Immediately after, Princess Vivi began to dance. After Zoro smelled the smell, her whole body lost her strength and squatted in place. Princess Vivi then turned the peacock saw in her hand and rushed towards Zoro. As a result, she ran too fast, and eventually caused her to fall from the room. I'm really ashamed of myself fighting these guys right now. Zoro was helpless at this point. But at this time, Shu Kang was the bounty hunter who cut down more than half of them one after another. All the bounty hunters who were still fighting were at a loss. Shu Kang's strength was so strong that they had no way to fight back. It's really nerve-wracking. EPUB wanted to rescue at this time, but had to fight Zoro in front of him. At this time, Mr. 9 locked Zoro's arm, and Princess Vivi took Luffy out and took him hostage. EPUB shouted, "Curl cannon." There were a lot of shells hidden under his large curls, and then he fired at Zoro. Is he a big toy? At the most critical moment, Zoro pulled desperately, and Mr. 9, who locked Zoro's arm with an iron chain, was thrown away, just as Zoro's shield. Zoro then flicked the chain, and easily knocked Princess Vivi away with the fast-running curl cannon. EPUB attacked Zoro again. At this critical moment, Zoro stepped on Luffy's stomach, then bounced into the air, and slashed at EPUB. Bang! EPUB splattered with blood in an instant, and finally fell to the ground. When he looked back, he found that all the bounty hunters had been knocked to the ground by Shu Kang. Shu Kang's entire body was spotless, as if he hadn't done anything at all. It's finally back to a quiet night, Zoro said. You lost. Owe me a good drink. Shu Kang said. Also, I just happened to be playing against a more difficult character, and you are playing against an easier character. Forget it, it was just a good drink, I lost. Zoro then smiled. At this time, there was another explosion in a certain place. This is, Zoro also said in surprise, is there any remaining party? Almost, I think Bakuro's more advanced agents should also come out. Shu Kang also guessed something. EPUB crawled on the ground desperately and said, I can't die, I still have a special mission. At this time, a voice rang out. How pitiful, to be defeated by a mere swordsman. Everyone's eyes were locked on the speaker. The person on the left is a woman holding an umbrella, while the man on the right is wearing a trench coat and sunglasses. Miss Valentine's Day, Mr. 5. Are you kidding me? Mr. 5 asked rhetorically. Ha ha, it's the difference in our level after all, right? Miss Valentine said. Are you here to laugh at us? EPUB asked. It does have this purpose. Of course it's on a mission. At this moment, Mr. 9 said very gratefully, if you guys come to help, those guys are no match at all. Yeah, please quickly defeat that swordsman. Princess Vivi said. Stop making such silly jokes, let's help you. Do you think we came to the remote corners of the Great Route to help you? Ha ha, Miss Valentine and Mr. 5 said together. What is it for? Mr. 9 asked curiously. The sinners that the boss can send us to deal with are here. That's what the boss said. My secret was known. Although of course I don't know what the secret is, the company's social motto is mysterious. No one in the company can be traced. This is the rule. Chapter 36 VV's crisis _______. If someone knows the boss's secret, of course there is only a dead end. Mr. 5 said. So we went to check, who knew the boss's secret, ha ha ha. The result is really incredible. We found that an important person from a certain kingdom actually sneaked into our Baroque Works Club. Miss Valentine's Day said. Wait, although I wear a crown, I'm not a king. This is my interest. Mr. 9 hurriedly explained. It's not you. The sinner is the missing person of Alabasta Kingdom. Before Mr. 5's words were finished, EPUB took the initiative to attack them. Curl Cannon. I won't let you touch a hair on the princess. I bet on the title of captain of the Alabasta Kingdom Guard. EPUB was very determined, but it didn't hurt Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine's Day. Alabasta Kingdom Guard Captain EPUB, and the princess, Nefertiti Vivi, I am ordered by the boss of Baroque Works to kill you. Mr. 5 announced. At this time, Zoro said, so it is, Shu Kang, did you already know the identities of these guys? Including the princess named Vivi. Of course, Shu Kang faintly issued, making people feel very mysterious. What about Luffy? He's still down there, Zoro said. Don't worry, let's see how things develop first. Shu Kang was not in a hurry to take action at this time. If everything went as he thought, then Vivi and the others would definitely save the day. Hurry up, Princess Vivi, hurry up and escape. At this time, EPUB continued to launch attacks towards Mr. 5. However, at this time, Mr. 5 seemed to have bounced something, and instantly hit EPUB, followed by an explosion. EPUB eventually fell to the ground. EPUB, Princess Vivi shouted with great concern. It's useless. Ha ha. Miss Valentine's Day fell from the sky, and very easily broke the iron ring used to tie Vivi's hair. Vivi's hair fell loose in an instant. Monster. Vivi cursed. So you're a princess, Miss Wednesday. Mr. 9 kneeled on the ground with great respect. Stop doing stupid things, Mr. 9. Vivi scolded. Good chance. Let's go. Zoro took advantage of this opportunity to grab Luffy and ran to the other side. It's a noisy night, you can play whatever you want. Princess Vivi, leave me alone, hurry up, EPUB said in great pain. Do you think you can escape our palms? Mr. 5 said while picking his nose. Don't underestimate people. Princess Vivi turned her earrings, she didn't just let it go. Mr. 9 was very loyal and said, although I don't know the situation, but since we have been partners for so long, I will buy you some time. Let's go Miss Wednesday. Then Mr. 9 attacked Mr. 5. All we need is the will to complete the task, and boring companions can only lead to death, you should understand this. Nose empty, Mr. 5 ejected his booger, and then, a big explosion occurred. And, Mr. 9 was blown away in just one encounter. At this time, EPUB grabbed the leg of Shu Kang, who was just approaching, and said, Master Swordsman, seeing that you are so powerful, I have an unkind request. Because of that duo, both of them have devil fruit abilities, so we can't stop them, can you protect the princess instead of me? EPUB asked. Well, Shu Kang didn't think about it for a long time, and then immediately said, I'm afraid I have to apply to our captain for this matter, but before that, please rest assured, this princess named Vivi is absolutely will not be killed. Shu Kang said very plainly. Seeing at least a glimmer of hope, EPUB finally breathed a sigh of relief. If you can escort Princess Vivi to the great country in the Far East, the Kingdom of Alabasta, you will definitely get a great reward. Ikaram immediately persuaded Shu Kang when he saw Shu Kang's tendency to agree. At this time, Princess Vivi had already run fast and left here. At this time, Nami suddenly appeared. After a few words with EPUB, she set the price for saving the princess. I said, we don't have to wait for Luffy to decide, Alabasta seems to be our only place to go, and didn't you already know the identity of Princess Vivi? Nami looked at Shu Kang and said. Since that's the case, let's promise him for now. Shu Kang promised Equilem, and the next step is to protect Princess Vivi. At this time, Miss Valentine's Day and Mr. Five had already caught up, so naturally Shu Kang and the others followed. At this time, Princess Vivi was sitting and running fast, leaving the Whiskey Mountain at the fastest speed. Run! There is a boat parked behind the Cactus Rock. Let's take that boat and leave here and return to Alabasta. However, when Princess Vivi was riding at a fast speed, she suddenly felt the impact of an explosion. Stop! After Princess Vivi stopped, she carefully observed the source of the explosion, but in the thick smoke, she saw a figure of a person. This person turned out to be Mr. Five and Miss Valentine's Day. Run! Princess Vivi turned around and left immediately. It's useless, it's a pointless struggle, Mr. Five said. Princess Vivi continued to gallop without any deceleration, and she suddenly saw Miss Monday like King Kong Barbie. You can find the boat from here, and I'll stop them here. Miss, said Monday with great loyalty. But, Princess Vivi was about to say something when Miss Monday interrupted. Anyway, we will be punished for failing the mission. Since we are going to die anyway, then I would rather die to protect my friends. Go. Miss stood on the spot with a huge branch on Monday, blocking Mr. Point Five and Miss Valentine's Day. I will never let you through here, swear by my dignity. Ha ha, Miss Monday, that's ridiculous. You are a disgrace to Baroque works. Mr. Five rushed in front of Miss Monday at a very fast speed. Likewise, with just one move, Miss once defeated. Mr. Point Five then started to introduce himself involuntarily. I am an explosive person who can detonate my whole body. With the power of this explosive fruit, there is no task that I cannot complete. Mr. Five said. Ha ha ha, just use the ability of my fluttering fruit to bury the traitor, Miss Monday. Miss vacated on Valentine's Day and hung in the air very easily. I can change my weight freely. Now I'm light enough to fly in the wind. Look good. Now I'm going to gradually increase my own weight. Chapter 37 _ The unresponsive Luffy, please collect. Ask for a silver ticket. Miss Valentine's falling faster and faster. After a while, she increased her weight to 10,000 kilograms, and then smashed heavily into an open space. The entire ground was completely smashed, and the power was amazing. After showing his strength, Miss Valentine and Mr. Five said, how is it? Even so, do you think you can escape alive? You can't escape our palms. The words of the two put a lot of pressure on Princess Vivi. Although Princess Vivi had no confidence, she still cheered very firmly, I will go back alive. I will go back to Alabasta alive. Ha! At this time, Mr. Five was ready to break Princess Vivi's fantasy with reality. He started picking his booger again, then flicked it out, shouting, nosing empty. And at this moment, a figure has flashed in front of Princess Vivi. With a handsome devil windbreaker, a handsome white back, and the long zanpakuto around his waist, Shira, this person's identity is already very obvious. Shu Kang. At this time, Shu Kang didn't make any extra moves, just gently waved the scabbard on his hand. Immediately afterwards, there was a bang around Shu Kang, and an explosion occurred, and black smoke billowed around him. However, when the black smoke dissipated, it could be seen that these explosions had no effect on Shu Kang and Vivi. Shu Kang. Princess Vivi was surprised at first, then looked at the road in surprise. At this time, the road has been completely shattered by the explosion, but they were unscathed. At this time, Mr. Five and Miss Valentine's Day focused their attention on Shu Kang, and then asked, it can withstand our explosion. It seems that there are two brushes. Is that you, the guy who brought down all the bounty hunters in the whole town? Why did you bastard protect the princess of Alabasta? Shu Kang then said, there's no reason. If you can't tell the reason, it might just be an incidental matter, right? It's really a good reason, but it doesn't matter, no matter what, you're our enemy, right? It's really in the way. Mr. 5 said. Yeah, it's in the way, Miss. Valentine said the same. However, at this moment, a very angry voice came out. I found it. Shu Kang. Shu Kang patted his head. He didn't expect Luffy to wake up. Looking at Luffy's posture at this time, he was afraid that he might have misunderstood him. I can't spare you. Let's fight. Luffy roared. You are an ungrateful person. Let me blow you away. Luffy then added. You actually made this island so welcoming to us and fed you, all of you who don't leave a single one. Turn it over, I will never forgive you. Princess Vivi complained at the side. What a sluggish guy. Even running fast, he nodded. Infighting. Mr. 5 also seemed to understand what happened. It's okay to kill all the people who interfere with our mission. Miss Valentine said indifferently. At this time, Luffy had already rushed towards Shu Kang with all his strength. Zoro explained to Shu Kang next to him that it was useless. Luffy was completely lost in anger. Luffy stretched out his fist and hit him, while Shu Kang slowly turned sideways and easily dodged Luffy's rubber pistol. Immediately afterwards, Luffy kicked him again and hit his head. However, Shu Kang escaped by relying on his strange movement technique. Luffy's so serious, even Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine said, it seems that they are not trying to hinder us. Yes, since that's the case, let's hurry up and finish the mission. Mr. 5 then prepared to kill Vivi. However, Zoro at this time was already standing in front of Princess Vivi. Although I don't know what these two guys are doing, before that, you are absolutely not allowed to kill this princess. Zoro also received the latest instruction from Shu Kang and Nami just now, that is, to protect this princess. Luffy, out of courtesy, I've already asked you 3 moves. Next, I'm going to counterattack, you don't want to die. Shu Kang thought it was a good time to beat Luffy. Come on, who's afraid of you? Luffy was swept away by his anger, and at this moment he recklessly waved his rubber trick at Shu Kang. At this time, Shu Kang had also used his demon power, not only blocking all of Luffy's attacks, but even better. The demon fist finally hit, knocking the round Luffy away with one punch. Coincidentally, Mr. 5 and his partner Miss Valentine's Day were also affected at the same time that Luffy was knocked out. The 3 of them hit a wall almost at the same time and stopped. Really? What the hell? Since you guys like to kill each other so much, let's kill both of you by the way. How about it? Then Mr. 5 used the ability of his own bomb fruit, and then Miss Valentine's Day was produced by bombing airflow flew in the air. Go to hell. Let me kill you with fluttering fruit. Get ready. Flying to the sky with the blast. I only weigh 1 kilogram now. Miss Valentine said looking at Shu Kang. Mr. Shu Kang, hurry up and avoid that woman. Princess Vivi had seen the power of the fluttering fruit. I don't have time to pay attention to her now, the opponent is Luffy no matter what. After Shu Kang finished speaking, Princess Vivi's eyes widened, and Luffy in front of him actually walked towards them with Mr. Point 5 in one hand. At the same time, the bloated body he ate had disappeared, but returned to Luffy's original body size. Finally digested everything I ate, Luffy said. It's a lie. Bakuro's senior agent, Mr. 5. Unexpectedly, Princess Vivi couldn't believe this scene at all. I said Luffy, these guys are bounty hunters. They deliberately gave us food and then took the opportunity to catch us. Nami, Zoro and I all know. Shu Kang explained while taking the time. Impossible. It's impossible for the enemy to give us something to eat, Luffy said firmly. It seems that no matter what I say, it's useless. Shu Kang shook his head, now that Luffy couldn't persuade him, and he was not good at persuading others. Since that's the case, let's decide the outcome. Shu Kang's eyes had turned into double-hooked jade writing round eyes, and he firmly locked Luffy. Miss Valentine's Day fell from the sky at this time, and raised his body weight to 10,000 kilograms, but Shu Kang just turned sideways lightly, and Valentine's Day hit the ground hard. Deal with Luffy. Shu Kang didn't plan to use his swordsmanship, but planned to use the power of the devil fruit to beat Luffy. These guys really have to kill each other at this time. Zoro didn't know what to say at this time. The person who was originally misunderstood should be Zoro, but I didn't expect that now it was Shu Kang who was misunderstood by Luffy. Chapter 38_EPUB's plan, please collect. Ask for a silver ticket. Don't you guys belong together? What the hell is going on? Princess Vivi also felt that things were really inexplicable, and Luffy was the most obtuse. Rubber rocket launcher. Luffy threw his hands behind him so hard, then he ran towards Shu Kang quickly, and finally threw his hands out. Devil shock. Shu Kang's devil fruit was completely attached to his body, and he used the writing wheel to find the weakness of Luffy's attack. Shu Kang's impact was extremely terrifying. Even Luffy was attacked from the front. Crashed. It hasn't been decided yet. Luffy's willpower was obviously amazing. After he hit a move, he rushed over again, and then punched punch after punch. I know you're hard to deal with, but it's not that easy to hit me. Shu Kang simply blocked the demon's wings in front of him, and Luffy's rubber machine gun quickly smashed on Shu Kang's wings. The defensive power of these wings was also extremely terrifying, and Shu Kang didn't even feel attacked. It's so hard. Luffy was obviously shocked too. Fall to the ground for me. Shu Kang shouted, the devil's fist. This huge force slammed into Luffy heavily. Luffy crossed his hands, trying to resist with all his strength, but he did not expect that Shu Kang's move was also extremely powerful, and he directly extended Luffy's hand like rubber. Boom! Shu Kang's punch broke through Luffy's defense and finally hit Luffy's chest. Luffy's whole body was not well, he fell to his knees, and he couldn't breathe. At this time, Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine came out and said, I didn't expect to be humiliated by this guy. It really hurts the name of the senior agent of Baroque Works. Mr. 5 let them see how scary we really are. Go on, Miss Valentine's Day. Okay, Mr. Point 5, quote. Two Baroque Works agents rushed towards Shu Kang and Luffy just like that. Don't underestimate our senior agents of Baroque Works. The two shouted loudly, but accidentally touched Shu Kang and Luffy's inverse scales. It's so annoying. It's annoying. Don't come and get in the way of our duel. Shu Kang and Luffy just waved afterward, and the two Bakuro agents were beaten to the ground again. Just when Luffy was going to use his strongest trick to deal with Shu Kang, a sudden punch knocked Luffy away. However, Shu Kang's speed was very fast, and he avoided this man's attack. Shu Kang raised his head and saw that it was Nami, and immediately complained, Luffy thinks I killed the bounty hunters on this island, so he has to fight with me. Zoro explained it together, but he still doesn't listen. The witty Shu Kang diverted Nami's anger, and Nami then said angrily, Luffy. What the hell are you doing? Nami then beat Luffy with bruises all over her body, and finally said, fortunately, this woman is still safe, or else I won't get a billion Baileys. Nami. Princess Vivi didn't say much when she saw it was Nami. After all, Nami and Shu Kang belonged to people who knew her identity for a long time. Next, Nami, Zoro, Princess Vivi and others, told Luffy the whole story, so that Luffy finally understood the whole story. Wow, ha ha ha. Luffy smiled without embarrassment. What? Shu Kang, you said it earlier. I thought you chopped them up because there was nothing you like in the meal. Who would apologize to me for such a boring reason? Shu Kang was also very direct. I'm sorry, Luffy said directly. Forget it, I forgive you. Knowing that Luffy is such a straight-hearted person, Shu Kang naturally didn't care, but he just didn't beat Luffy enough. After all, Luffy is a very resistant person. At this time, Nami also told Princess Vivi about EPUB's promise and what he promised them. That's the thing, I want a billion Baileys reward. You should know how powerful these guys are. Nami calculated very shrewdly. And Vivi said bluntly, that's impossible. I'm very grateful to you for saving me, thank you. Aren't you a princess? 1 billion shouldn't be too difficult for you, right? Nami originally wanted the lion to speak, but 1 billion is not a lot by the standards of a princess. Alabasta is in the midst of civil strife. In recent years, people have been rioting one after another, and the country has become more and more chaotic. One day, I heard about an organization called Baroque Works, and we learned that this organization has been inciting the people, but once the intelligence is traced, it will be found that all clues have been cut off, and there is absolutely no way to start. Quote. So I went to ask Ekolem, who has taken good care of me since I was a child. I wonder if I can find a way to sneak into the Baroque Works Club, so that I can know the identity and purpose of the mastermind behind it. So, have you figured out their purpose? Zoro asked. Well, to build an ideal country. But although they say this on the surface, it is actually a big lie. Their real purpose is to capture the kingdom of Alabasta. They must return home quickly and tell everyone to quell the riots of the citizens. So, who is that boss? Luffy asked curiously. I can't say it. If I say it, your life will be in danger. Princess Vivi waved her hands quickly. That's right, no matter how powerful you are, you can't deal with him. One of the Shichibukai under the king, Crocodile. Princess Vivi didn't use aggressive tactics, but simply slipped her tongue. It just so happened that at this time, the unlucky duo knew about this, and then flew away. Nami almost collapsed, but Shu Kang, Luffy and Zoro, as the main battle faction, naturally felt eager to try. I want to leave quickly before my appearance is revealed. Nami was about to leave, but was drawn by the unlucky duo again. This way, Shu Kang, Zoro, Luffy, and Nami became the surefire targets of Baroque Works. At this moment Ekolem came out wearing the same clothes as Princess Vivi. I'm dizzy. Shu Kang almost fainted when he saw Ekolem in front of him. Lord Vivi, please listen to me carefully. If you were targeted by Baroque Works, someone would immediately chase after him, let alone know the boss's secret. It seems that there will be about 1,000 chasing soldiers. Vivi said. So like this, I disguised as a princess, brought 4 dummies, and returned to Alabasta Kingdom by boat. While the pursuers were attracted by me, Lord Vivi and you all sailed from the usual route to Alabasta Kingdom. Ekolem said. Chapter 39 _ The Assault of Nicole Robin, for collection. For silver. Is Crocodile strong? Luffy asked. Yes, he is one of the Shichibukai, so there is no bounty offered by Marine, but before he became Shichibukai, there was a bounty of 80 million Baileys. Ekolem said. Isn't 80 million 4 times that of Arlong? Hurry up and reject it. Nami naturally didn't want to do such a loss-making business. She used to think it was profitable, but now it is purely charitable, and her partners may suffer threat to life. Are you willing to send her back? Ekolem asked Shu Kang. This is our captain, I'll just listen to him. Shu Kang looked at Luffy and said. Luffy nodded and said, go. Because it's going to be fun. Ah, Nami also almost fainted. Thank you, then. Ekolem then walked to the position of the ship with everyone, and then he took the permanent record pointer from Princess Vivi. What is a permanent pointer? Nami didn't quite understand. Simply put, it is a permanent version of the recording pointer. Unlike the recording pointer which always points to the next island, the permanent pointer will never lose the magnetic force of the recorded island, and will only point to that island forever. That's the pointer that recorded Alabasta, Ekolem said. In other words, Princess Vivi will return to Alabasta with the Straw Hats, and Ekolem will be the first to return to Alabasta to divert the attention of the Baroque Works pursuers. Then the princess is up to you, said Ekolem. Be careful, it's going to be a tough journey. As soon as the ship Ekolem was on left, a big explosion occurred on the ship. Bang! The smoke from the sea rose. How is that possible? The chasing soldiers are here. Quick! The boat is on, Nami said. ... Vivi bit his lip in pain, tears in his eyes almost gushing out. Nami Mazawang hugged Vivi and said, don't worry. We will send you back safely. ... Don't look at them, but they also saved East Blue. What about Baroque works? What about Shichibukai? We didn't take it seriously. Nami said. Immediately afterwards, Luffy hurried back to the place where the villagers entertained him, grabbed Usopp's nose and Sanji's hair, and dragged them to Mary quickly. Immediately afterwards, everyone set sail and planned to escape along the current. How many pursuers will there be? Zoro asked. I heard that there are several strongholds like this town nearby. There should be many, right? Vivi said. The night was silent, the night passed, and the sky was already bright. Everyone finally left Whiskey Peak. Should be able to leave this island soon. Nami said. It's amazing. It's foggy, Luffy said excitedly. It's almost morning, Nami said. It's nice to be able to escape from the pursuers. That's right, Nami said. Be careful not to let the boat hit the rocks. Leave it to me, Nami responded confidently. Is that Luffy who spoke just now? Nami asked with great confusion. When they felt something was wrong, and when they turned around, they saw a woman they had never seen before. Nice boat. At this time, a woman was already sitting on the guardrail of the Nami, watching everyone with interest. You are. All the partners on the deck looked at the guardrail in shock. The woman was wearing a hat, with dark hair and slightly dark skin. At this moment, she held her face in one hand and said jokingly, just now, I saw Mr. 8 over there. Miss Wednesday. Princess Vivi looked at the woman very hostilely and said, you gave Equilem to. It doesn't matter, the question is why are you on our ship? Luffy asked stubbornly. Who are you? Everyone asked, looking at Robin. Why are you here, Miss? All Sunday, Princess Vivi said. Robin, Shu Kang thought to himself as he looked at Robin. Ah, whose partner is this time? Nami asked. She's Mr. .0 Feet's boss, partner. Princess Vivi responded. What? Crocodile, S. Nami went crazy. This woman was the only one who knew the identity of the boss before. We only found out who the boss was by following her, said Princess Vivi. To be precise, I asked you to follow me, Robin said. It's you who told the boss that his identity was revealed, Princess Vivi asked. That's right, Robin responded with a smile. What is your purpose? Asked Princess Vivi. Robin, on the other hand, didn't seem to care, and responded, who knows, I thought you were too serious, so I accidentally helped you, became an enemy of Baroque works, and wanted to save my life. The princess of the country is really stupid. Don't underestimate me. Princess Vivi rushed towards Robin impulsively, and the Straw Hat group were all ready to fight. Of course, only Shu Kang did not make any movement, but walked slowly to the front of Robin. Immediately afterwards, Shu Kang called out Robin's real name. Nicole Robin, it seems that you didn't really serve Crocodile. Shu Kang's words made Robin's laughing expression instantly freeze. You, what did you call me? Robin asked. The Straw Hats and the others didn't know the situation, and Nami repeated, Nicole Robin. Shu Kang, do you know her? Crocodile's goal, Alabasta should only be a part of him. His real goal should be Hades, one of the 3 ancient weapons, right? Robin, the historical text, should be your goal. Shu Kang's words made Robin's whole people didn't respond at all. Impossible. My identity. How did the boy in front of me come out? Besides, how did he know about Hades? Is he an undercover agent sent by the world government into the pirates? Who is this guy? It seems that not only knows my past, but even Crocodile's goal. How is this possible? Shu Kang's words made Robin's heart surge. Is extremely complex. Shu Kang opened his arms, made a very polite gesture, and then said, you must be thinking, who am I? As you can see, I'm just a crew member of this ship. One is just a nameless pirate in the sea. You must not take me too seriously. Shu Kang said while smiling while looking at Robin. You are really an interesting person. Robin looked at Shu Kang and finally squeezed out a sentence. Who exactly are you? Robin looked at Shu Kang and asked. Chapter 40 Little Garden _______. Unexpectedly, Robin seemed to be very aware of Shu Kang's confidence, so he said directly, if a pirate with a bounty of 50 million is also called an unknown pirate, then crocodile should be nothing. I didn't come to fight, I didn't receive any orders. Robin said truthfully. The name of your next island is Little Garden. Even if we don't take action, you guys won't be able to reach Alabasta, and the whole army will be wiped out. Robin said very confidently. We don't need you, Luffy retorted immediately. Don't you think it's a stupid thing to kill yourself step by step? Robin asked. At this moment, Robin threw the permanent record pointer in his hand to Vivi. You can get around Little Garden with this. What this pointer indicates is only one step away from Alabasta, an island with nothing. Because it is a route that our company's employees don't know about, there will be no chasing troops. Robin explained. What? Isn't she our enemy? Nami asked in confusion. Why give me this? Princess Vivi also felt very strange. It stands to reason that the other party should be her mortal enemy. It must be a trap, right? Zoro guessed, and everyone on the ship didn't trust Robin. However, what happened next? It is not difficult to guess. Luffy easily destroyed the record pointer. That guy blew up Uncle Curly, so I hate him. That guy doesn't have the qualifications to dictate the course of the ship, Luffy said. It seems that even I can't change the current Luffy. Shu Kang said. I don't hate men with guts. If you can really reach Alabasta alive, we'll see you then. Robin didn't get angry, she just jumped up and sat down after she finished speaking. On the big turtle, he left slowly. Robin, there will be an appointment later. Robin naturally heard Shu Kang's words, but Robin's trip was actually to make it easier for Luffy and Vivi. After all, Vivi's experience was similar to hers to a certain extent. Baroque Works Club. In order to avoid Marine's pursuit, Robin's heart is still kind. This woman has absolutely no idea what she is thinking. Mr. Shu Kang, you seem to know the identity of this woman. Princess Vivi asked. Yes, as a prophet on the ship, you must know a lot of things that we don't know. Can you tell us about this woman? Sanji's eyes have turned into red hearts. In that case, I'll tell her story. Let's move towards Little Garden while we tell it. Immediately afterwards, Mary drove in the direction pointed by the next pointer, and Shu Kang told Robin's story to everyone. Wow, this guy has a bounty of 20 million Baileys. Usopp was also a little surprised after listening to Robin's story. Yeah, I didn't expect this guy to carry so much at such a young age. I really didn't expect it. Nami didn't dislike Robin so much at this time. You said that Robin didn't kill Uncle Curly, is that true? Luffy asked in disbelief. I said it is true, you have to believe it, but we are not in a hurry, because we will meet sooner or later. Shu Kang said. Unexpectedly, Luffy said, if this guy really didn't kill Uncle Curly, we invite her to be a partner. Okay. Everyone wanted to refuse, especially Vivi. After all, her kingdom's biggest enemy was Baroque Works. We are not in a hurry. The most important thing at the moment is to send Princess Vivi back to Alabasta safely. After Shu Kang changed everyone's attention, everyone calmed down a lot. Because he reached the peak of Whiskey Mountain, which is also the first island on the Great Route, Shu Kang had just left here when he immediately received the sound of his dreams. Ding ding ding. Congratulations to the host. Successfully signed in at Whiskey Peak. Congratulations on your reward. No poison. Hundreds of poisons do not invade. As the name suggests, your resistance to toxins will be greatly enhanced. From now on, even if you are poisoned, you will be fine. The reward from the system was undoubtedly the happiest thing for Shu Kang. Shu Kang instantly felt that his body was a little different, and this feeling was as if he had acquired a kind of immunity. System, that is to say, I'm not afraid of poison now. Shu Kang asked. That's understandable, the system responded. With the system's affirmative answer, Shu Kang's confidence was much stronger. The crocodile that he was about to face had poison on the hook. If he could be immune to the poison, then in the upcoming battle, Shu Kangju should be able to take over. Get ahead. Then, after a while, Nami walked to the deck, looked at her record pointer and said, "The island after the cactus is there." "Wow, haha, is that there? The second island on the Great Route," Luffy said excitedly. "In the sea not far away, there is an island. From a distance, this island has dense jungles and, of course, huge mountains." The ship was slowly approaching here, and Luffy couldn't help asking questions. "Is this called Little Garden? What's so small?" Zoro was also a little puzzled. "It doesn't look like a cute place like the name." Nami then turned her head and asked Shu Kang, "Why is it called Little Garden?" "How do I know?" Shu Kang shook his head with a wry smile. These people really regarded themselves as gods. "A place that even the prophet doesn't know. This is a secret realm," Usopp said with great fear. "There are dense forests everywhere. I care about what Miss All Sunday said," Princess Vivi said with great concern. Her words hit Usopp's fear point instantly. "Ah, will there be monsters?" Usopp asked in horror. "Yes," Shu Kang then affirmed. "Although I don't know why this place is called Little Garden, but this is a prehistoric island with a completely different ecosystem from the outside world, so many outsiders on the island have long since become extinct. Gigantic creatures." Quote. "Wow, shall we go directly to the next island? You see what the prophet said. It must be very dangerous here." Usopp was scared to death by Shu Kang's words. "That won't work, the magnetism won't be stored so quickly." Nami shook her head and rejected Usopp's proposal. Sanji also reminded, "We have to replenish food, we didn't buy anything in the previous town." "Hey, I see an estuary ahead," Zoro said.